I connected.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the ARML 2024 Championship. This is Korak. I'm joined by Lucas.
Hey, Korak. We finally got around to getting this one scheduled, and the long anticipated championship match is finally about to get started.
We told them just have it done at any time during the winter session, and these four knuckleheads said, you know what, that's no fun. We're going to do it the first day of the next session just to ruin any plans you might have had.
It's all just about building the suspense. It's,
So anyway, we have Matthew in the east seat. The south seat will be Aaron. Across is Dustin, and on the left is Nathaniel. This is kind of a last-minute stream, so if there's some quality issues, by all means, let us know, because we're kind of being broadcast on a delay from someone else's machine. So we will see the game start in a couple minutes, but just a quick oversight. Can we go over how everyone won their seasons?
Yeah, I think we got a few minutes to try to get that going.
All right, the first one was Dustin winning Winter 2024. It was a long fight between him and Simon, but pulled it out there at the very end. As I recall, it had like a plus 150 final session. Absolutely dominated the end there.
Yeah, that was sort of a runaway finish there in the final few sessions.
All right, in spring, it was Aaron just barely edging out Max, 245.7 to 242.9. Just neck and neck the whole time. Aaron got just enough, and you weren't that far back in third at 221.2.
No, I remember that was the season that sort of led Max to start complaining about the current way that A1 is just like all about who can get the best final session.
Yeah, we are changing that this year, but not for the 24 title. There will be a point-based system. And it's actually interesting because the four-season champions, of course, would have been in the top 8 anyway, but you also have the 4 wild cards. You and I would have been in there, but as a result, we're not there here. It is the 4 you see here, only the season champions. Can't go back and change the rules in the middle of the season. And then the next season was Summer, which was Matthew just dominating basically start to finish. There was one game at the very end where I remember this specifically because I ended up second this season. It was Matthias trying to fight back and just got nothing and dealt in a few times to Matthew, which pushed him over to the top. 246.4 in first. I was in second at 210.9. But that was just down the wire. That was the chaos season. That had so many just shocking demotions. Nathaniel, the one person on the cut line that did survive. Max going down. Viet going down. Barry going down. Just an absolute bloodbath in summer.
Yeah, and then, of course, we did just have the most recent winner being Aaron, who just won. But looks like we are now underway with Matthew being the first dealer here. What do you think of these hands?
I'll take that as a dealer starting at any time. 567 Sanshoku, maybe a Dora. And yeah, the last winner was Nathaniel in 2024, really start to finish. I was competing with him for a little bit, but he just got 100 points clear of the field. No one was catching him.
That's right. Yeah, sorry, I had those confused. But
On the right,
anyways.
still pretty decent hand here. Richie Pinfu, Tanya, maybe a Dora across the way. Well, that's just a made-to-order Honitsu. That's one where I don't think it takes much intelligence to play the hand. You just start hitting the bone button, right?
Yeah, it's a great setup for it for sure.
And on the left, maybe a 3-4-5 Sanshoku, but needs some help as the Ryokan 3-5-7 so. And a nice shape in Monzu. Possible Itsu would require a bit of maneuvering. Still, Matthew definitely the best hand of the bunch. Matthew is the defending ARML champion as well, won last season's championship.
So dealer now basically got everything they need for a Pinfu here. It's still holding the 5-mon just in case you get the Sanshoku. At the moment, it looks like the 7-mons might probably just going to be the pair for the hand, so might end up
And if it's not, it's going to
having
be
to
the
lose
6
that.
pins. So going to be hard to
Yeah,
pull this in.
we need to draw like a 2 or 3 pin.
4 connects station there on the left. Well, with that 9, you could at least consider Itsu, but doesn't even think about it. Throws the 5 back immediately.
Yeah, just going Pinfu here.
Home.
There's our East Pole, and then actually Tempai now didn't get any Pinzu upgrades to speak of. Just kept drawing Monzu, and is now Tempai 1 pin, 3 pin for 1 Han.
Yeah, good
Dustin,
stuff.
I know definitely someone who likes to greed, but if you just draw nothing for a row and a half, you just have to take it. That's going to be an upgrade for Matthew. Shouldn't deal in here. I made you lock the pair in 9 Mon being the normal cut. You're a little concerned about the possible Honitsu across the way because why would the north and the west be kept that long? But you still have to play efficiency anyway.
Yeah, I think maybe just the slight pause was like, should I try to Sakagiri 6-pin now because it does look quite dangerous. But ultimately decides just to take the perfect Ishan 10. Also 6-pin looks like it might just already be dealing in, so.
Oh, there's a Dora, and this is one where when Dustin throws Dora, you could be pretty sure he stepped by.
Yeah, definitely a strong sign of it, and it is in fact Tempai here.
Now you see the 6 comes out, takes the 9 as a safer tile, figuring Dustin's hand is probably cheap. When you consider the Tadashi in that hand, if it were Honitsu, it would be just a monster set of runs. Oh, there's the 3. There it goes, and that's a cheap deal in, but will shut down East 1.
Yeah, dealer was building up towards a nice pin for Ricci, so it is pretty valuable to stop that in his tracks. Right, so I think we're not going to be able to be switching because this is actually being hosted by Nathaniel, who's of course in the game.
Yeah,
so
he
I
has
think we're just
another
gonna...
tab muted. If you're not hearing game sounds, that's why. If you are, good for you, because I'm not. But regardless, it's going to be Aaron on the right as dealer here. Ricci, Pinfu, Dora, possibly Peiko. You'd be headless if you draw the 2-mon, but it'd be nice little pickup across the way. Probably just a Ricci, Pinfu, maybe some sort of 1-2-3 or 2-3-4 Sanshoku with some shifting. On the left, a whole bunch of Sozu tiles, but unlikely to get to hold Itsu. Maybe Itsu?
Yeah,
Could
like I think the
continue to with red draws.
5-7-4 pin are probably going to be too
Oh,
useful to
that
cut.
one so
We'll
gets
see.
very tempted. I would cut 4 pin.
See what direction
Oh,
it is. Just
cut
going to
the
be the east here. I could see. I think I would try the east, but it is tempting to cut 4-pin for sure.
3-pin fills the pension here, but not really anything other than the Dora. Goes and cuts the 4 potential Suju trap on the 6, 7, 8 later. And there is one 5-so out. I might be tempted to throw the 8 just to get the potential Sanshoku upgrades, but with 1 5 out, it's already a really bad tile.
Now I'm going to start cutting away from the Pinzu shape here.
Yeah, it doesn't want the 5 Kanchan, possible Shampoo Ishanten for Matthew, but the best hand still seems to be on the right. The dealer with that Ricci Pinfu Dora 1 still needs a pair, though.
Has the pair of the 1-mon, right?
Well, if you... Yeah, the 3 was cut a couple turns ago. Oh, there's our Hatsu, and there's our Honitsu. Figured Nathaniel would get there eventually. Needs 7 so badly. Ooh, 6-mon. That's a new draw. How highly do you value that safe tile? That is Aaron on the right, and values it
really
very
values
highly.
Yeah, that's a tempting E2, but
Ishunten across 2-mon cut, but just okay. There it is. Has that 1-1-3-7-7 Ishunten. Not ideal. Ooh, 7-pin pair up there on the right for Aaron. Boy, I'd love that 6-mon back.
Yeah. Still a strong hand, though.
Now, speaking of tiles to come back, Matthew pulls a 4-so. Still doesn't like it. Might see a pull on the left, and it is E Shunten. The 9, well, you can turn this into a possible pinfu if you cut 4-pin.
Looks pretty reasonable, though. Is
Yeah,
sort
the
of balancing
7-mon
with
being
Tanya.
door indicator is really annoying.
You can still go Tanya, so this
Yeah,
is
you can pull
nice.
this, and I would definitely, if I got a 5 or a 5-mon or a 6-pin, I'd definitely call it.
Yeah, I agree.
Especially since there's an obvious Honitsu on the left that doesn't look temp. Well, okay. And now there's overflow, and now you start worrying.
Right.
It is Tempai on 6-9 so.
Well, let's see what
Honitsu.
Dustin does here.
Well, that's Tempai. It's a Riichi
Yeah.
Pinfu. He'll go ahead
There
and
goes the
slam it.
Sozu. That one
3-6
doesn't deal
pin.
in.
Throws the 3. With the 4 pawn, it's really unlikely to deal in. It's actually a Kabe.
Yeah,
But if
that's a
there's a
good point.
Penchon, it could be bad.
And this is a pretty decent Ryomen Senpai as well, so.
Oh, well, that may just be a chase. Question is, which weight do you want? Pinfu, or do you lock in the Tanyao? Takes the Dama Pinfu.
Wow.
Waiting
Doesn't go for
4-7.
Riichi.
There's
Well,
the
saves the
sumo.
stick.
Saves the stick. Sets the sumo. Reach sumo. Pinfu. No aura. Dustin with 700, 1300, and gets the Riichi stick back and jumps to the first place now. He's a dealer across the way. Again, we don't do our normal updates here because of broadcasting difficulties. But a decent hand. Needs a 4-mon pretty badly. On the left, few pairs, maybe an Itsu and Pinzu. In front of us, Matthew with a Tanyao type hand. And on the right, a bunch of pairs, kind of interesting so shape with 2, 2, 2, 3, 5, 8, 8. Might even go Tanyao with, but you have that 9-mon pair to decide what to do with later. Another pair up there for Matthew. Actually, Ishan 10. Would have to cut the Dora, though.
Yeah, it's just like everything looks like Tanyo except the 2-3 pin. We'll see what direction this ends up going.
9 connects to the 8, improves to a Penchon. We'll just cut the extra honors. Chu not going to do much, of course. Question is, do you want to hold a safe tell or do you believe in this hand? Not giving up on it yet. 6. Well, that just lets you use another Dora.
Yeah.
You could get really greedy and go 2-3, but I'd probably just cut the 2 on here, and that is the play.
Does improve this hand.
Pair of the 7, so doesn't really do much, but at the same time, everything else is bad. Could go south-south, could go 9-8. We'll go with the 9 instead.
Makes sense to cut one of the blocks that doesn't work with Tanyo.
Well, speaking of Tanya, you can just cut the 2 on here, and the 2-pin is safe to a potential dealer Riichi, and you can still call down for the Tanya.
Ideally, you'd like to just Riichi this hand, but it is nice that you have the calling option. Like, if 7-mon comes out, it's pretty tough to pass the door indicator.
Yeah. Ooh, well, now you have to make a real decision. Yeah, cuts the 5, takes the widest Ishanten. There's a Ryankan 4-6-8. It's a shape that you really need to learn as you play Mahjong because it just comes up so often, where you have a run in there and a kind of hidden Ryankan.
This is nice where it's like you get either Epik or Dora, so either end you're happy with here. Oh, and here we go.
Well,
Which
now you
end is it
see
gonna
which one
be?
do you want. There is a
7
5
more.
out, and of course the 7 is Dora indicator. Takes the weight with Dora. Riichi, Tanyao, Dora, 7-mon. There are 3 out, so only 1 left in the wall. I think this falls under the category, if you deal into this, you deserve it for trusting Dora. A on Riichi and B by Dora.
Yeah, the 7-mon looking really, really terrible, but wow, it does
Jump
just
there
come
and
right
trust
out.
the
Never
tails in.
mind.
Riichi, Tanyao, Dora. No, Aura might have been trying to
Yeah.
move this towards a Cheetoy. Didn't really have anything particularly safe, but boy, I'd have never thrown that.
No, like the 9-mon, if you're looking for something safe, like the 9-mon's infinitely more safe than the 7-mon.
All right, well, with that, we now have a real dogfight for first place. Of course, this is a 4-game series, so a long way to go. Nathaniel is dealer here on our left. Nice little 3, 4, 5, 5, 6. Probably a Riichi Pinfu type hand if you get that 7-pin. In front of us is the South player with a nice little run in Sozu. Kind of floating door acceptance, but just overall not a great hand other than that 4-5-6 on the right. Well, 2 Dora, you don't need too much else. It's actually Ishunten for Riichi Dora 2. Possible upgrades to a Sanshoku. Oh, well, there's your Sanshoku.
Wow, what a hand.
Locks in the 1 here, so you can do some shifting. Across the way, pretty standard Tanya hand. 2-3-4 Sanjuku. Not Nathaniel's hand, although it would be amusing. Definitely his favorite. Nine doesn't do much. Going to get thrown back. Ooh, the 4 is a good tie. You can just go 8-9 here. That is the plan. And because the hand already has a 9, you can often just go ahead and cut the 8. I feel if you had a Tanya, you should always cut the 9 there first. It's such a common mistake I see from people. They just instinctively cut the penchant in to out, and
Right.
oftentimes they just miss Tanya, but it doesn't apply here.
It potentially could have, because if you paired up 8, you could have cut like 7-mon, 9-mon.
Yeah, there's some shifting around. 2-pin pair up, might even just go Tanya with this. Do you get rid of your save tile? Nope, throws it back. Oh, there's a 3. Nice fill there. Nathaniel now Ishunten.
Really wide
Super
headless
wide.
here. Oh, here's another wide
Ishunten for
10. Well, I guess
Matthew.
this
Not
is
a
pretty
very
narrow.
good one. Needs 2 8-pins, and we just saw one of them drawn. So that's going to require some effort. But I'm going to back this up. Ooh, nice draw across the way. There's the Dora. Loses Tanya. We'll cut the overlapping 5-6 shape. Had 2-3-5-6 in Pinzu. And there's our Tempai on the left. Riichi Pinfu on 5-8-mon. We see 2 discarded. And in hand, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 2 left on the wall.
Oh, chase instantly. Here we go.
With 2 Dora, Riichi Pinfu Dora 2, 3-sided, 3-6-9. Of course, all 3 of the 9s are discarded. The 6 is 1 left, and the 3 isn't that good either. Yeah, just one of the 2, and ooh, 1-3, 1-6, 1-9, I believe. Oh, just draw the last one.
There it is.
Sumo Pinfu Dora 2, and yours Hanemon. Nope, but Nathaniel does take the brunt of it. Drops into a deep 3rd place here, and this is a complete scramble for 1st place now. 3 players within 1,000 points. We enter South.
Entering South round. What do you think about Honitsu here?
I will try it, but this is the type of hand that just goes toy as well fairly easily. I'm definitely pulling. Well, okay, now it's just holding it.
Oh,
I don't
South,
like the South.
I guess South is
2
twice
out.
cut, but just cut the 1 so.
Yeah, I just cut the 1. You're not going Honitsu with this, are you? Really? On the right, nice little.
You're not going Honitsu? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, you're definitely going Honitsu. Speaking of Honitsu,
Okay.
what about that hand across?
That hand also has a lot.
It does have a Dora though, and the shapes are awful. Is the problem? You need 7 so what twice and a 3 so, and on the left that feels like a Pon and go. Potential Shampon Ton Hatsu would be really nice to draw the last Hatsu. I think it's just going to come out from Dustin eventually.
Hand on the right also looking quite fast and does have that Dora 5-pin. That could turn into a nice Riichi.
Now, 1 so comes out from Dustin, not going to play the Honitsu. Oh, the 1-9-1. You're thinking, man, I could have pulled so much here.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting route. Yeah, Matthew cuts the 2 here. This is a Sononko Ishunten. Not really how I expected that hand to develop. I have Ishunten on the right. Yeah. Now for a Riichi Pinfu Tanya Dora.
That'd be a nice one.
Oh, and we see Hatsui's passed on the left by Nathaniel. Not calling it. I don't think it'd speed the hand up any. But speaking of speeding the hand up, Riichi Pinfu Dora on the right does not get the 10. You get the 9-pin. But still a nice hand for 3 Han with Aaron.
Nathaniel can fight a little bit from Ishunten here. Does go 9-mon first, and then looking to potentially push 7-mon at Senpai.
Wes is live, but not. It wasn't live. It was thrown away from Dustin a couple turns ago. Of course, we know that Matthew has calls off. Isn't going to consider this. Oh, another two-so across the way. Could con into Ishan 10. But just throws the 4 for now, and that should definitely make Nathaniel feel the 7's clear. Could be a chi.
We're going to see a chi.
Could just cut the 7 here and con into literally anything. Or you just throw the 8 here. Throws the 8. Actually waiting on this 7 that's going to come out. Oh, that is disgusting. I love it.
Oh, Dustin knows.
Dustin's like, Nathaniel would absolutely throw the 7 here, and he did. Absolutely filthy. Well, now we have South 2. Dealer is Aaron. Nice little Monzu shape. Decent altogether. Would love another Dora across the way. Not a great hand. Needs to fill Conchunt everywhere. On the left, a few pairs. Umidi Peiko has 2 Dora, but it's really hard to do anything with that 2 Dora. And in front of us, 3, 4, 5 Sanchuku, probably the best route. This is one where everyone just needs more Dora. Nice little Chun pair up there on the right. Can now just call and go with this.
Nathaniel's hand like really wants to be Tanya with the Dora pair. At the moment, you're a little far from it, but if you can find a replacement block for like 1 pin and then the 9-7 pin, potentially has the value to call.
Kuso extends the shape there with a 2, 3, 3, 4. 5 pin given up. Aaron not going to be using any pins through this hand.
This is Ishan 10 for Matthew.
Did not call the 6, would not have helped. Speaking of 6s, this is also a better
This
Ishan
is interesting.
10.
I wonder if we go 9-9 pin and go for Tanya. No, not going to. Just
taking the widest
efficiency.
Ishan.
I think it's a pretty reasonable idea, but I guess yeah, we'll see how it works out.
Okay, you know how I just mentioned that Nathaniel loves 2, 3, 4 Sanchiku? So he is Tanya braiding this hand, and I'm sure he sees 2, 3, 4 Sanchiku. I do not. Oh, that's a nice little draw on the right. Now Ishan 10. Would be Tempai, but passes it. Would have been Otozuki on the Chun.
It's a slight improvement for
4 pin. Could just cut the 8 here.
You can cut the 6 or the 8 in terms of efficiency. Let's see, because it's like, do you want the 7 pin acceptance or the 6-9 pin acceptance? Wants the 6-9 pin acceptance, and this also has Ipeco draw.
Yeah, I like the Ipeco a lot. Even though there are 2 5s out, it's just so much value. Just heard it say to Rishi Pin for Ipeco. Oh, there's Tempai. This is Richi Dora 1 possible Chun. And speaking of Chun, Dustin has it in his hand. Think about the Patu break. Doesn't do it. 1 mon is safe here. And we'll throw the safe tile. I feel this one, so...
Here we go, Chase.
Well, there's our Chase. And it is Richi Pinfu Dora, 2-5 hit. Oh, the Ipatsumo on the Chun!
Oh, man.
Richi Ipatsumo Chun Dora. No Aura again, but Aaron after a big lead in South 2.
Yeah, huge dealer manga on there.
With the extra stick as well, and we'll continue the dealer run here. 44,500, 14,000 clear of the field. Possibly Peiko with the 7788. Also going to accept a Dora Tumon. Oh, well, there's your Peiko draw for the 9. Across the way, a couple pairs, and that's one where the more I look at it, the more I just want to just hide my hand and pretend I didn't draw it.
Yeah, that's really bad.
It's not the worst head I've seen, but it's up there. And on the left, that is Nathaniel seeing a 2, 3, 4 Sanchiku and not really thinking about anything else.
This one does actually might be real.
Yeah, this one seems a little more legit.
There's another potential Sanshoku is 789, and yeah, it's gonna cut the 4 so to hedge in that direction. Okay, there's the 3-mon. At the moment, it has like 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, but it just needs to draw like 7-mon or 4-mon and can have that 2, 3, 4. And now it goes into headless. No, this is just Tempai. 3/6 pin, gonna Dama. Yeah, really wants to
Yeah,
draw
there's
the.
so many upgrades here.
Yeah, the Tanyo upgrades are really nice. It is like a Dora 1.
Well, and it's one if you do end up drawing the 3 or the 6, he would absolutely Furiton reach the 1. I have no doubt in my mind.
Yeah, so from this score position especially.
Oh, and that's what you're
Dora.
looking for. Now you just got the 1.
Yeah, I think
It's
so.
just a super wide A shunt, and I love this draw.
Dora, and Tanyo, I like the break.
Yeah, I think it's always 1 month. There it is. Seven doesn't do anything. 9 doesn't do anything.
Could have potentially cheat the 7-mon for like Tanyo Dora, but it's hoping for more than
I
just
think
39.
the Shunten is fine. Which
Yeah,
what
I
we're
agree.
worried about is the 7 pin, but that's still just a Furiton 3-sided for a monster hand. And you really want Sumo, especially with the scoreline. And we see the 79 Sanshoku Aaron is trying to build. Ew. Doesn't even
not gonna take
consider
that
it.
one. Yeah,
There
that
are
one's
2
done.
2-pin out. I think if there's only 1, I'd slam that. But with 2 out, ugh.
I think you can
3-2
still
to
have...
R2 is not ideal on the bad way, but with 2 out, you figure 1's very likely in the last hand, which it is. Well,
Right, this one I think you gotta take,
you have to
right?
take. The question is which one?
Each.
I
I
think I
assume the
just
not
take,
3010 weight.
yeah, I think I'd take the Shampon as well. There is an argument for the Furry 10, but I just want a Sumo Dora. There is only 1 out left. We see 2 3-pin in Matthew's hand and 1 2-mon in Aaron's hand. Moves the Ishan 10 there. Aaron can chase this down. Six is not it, but it is safe. Oh, well, that's the end of that. So how much do you want to fight this back? I cut 8-9.
Cheat.
Nope,
I'm gonna
Buzzin
go
cuts the
7-8
7-8.
pin. Doesn't feel comfortable pushing the 8, so...
That is a K10 across the way. Does not have Itsu, but does have upgrades for Itsu.
Warmon was a rather aggressive push for that Tempai.
It is right by Dora, but at the same time, 1-mon, 4-mon will be 2 players, Tempai. Does close the gap a bit. And a big part of this, I feel, is you're also just remembering that you have 4 games, but you only get anything for first.
Yeah, that is true.
So you can be a little more on the aggressive side. But dealer is Dustin across the way, possibly Peiko in Sozu. Decent hand there. Could also accept a Dora or 2. On the left, Kinfu type hand, 3 so would help, but just the Sozu drag that hand down so far. And a double Penchon. Those always feel really bad. It's like, what do I do with this? And the second Penchon comes.
Yeah, I mean, at least they're Ishan 10, so, like, if you get lucky, you can...
Okay, now you get a Dora. There's possible 6, 7, 8 Staunchiku shift. That's an amazing draw.
As well
In
as just
front of us, we
Tanyo.
have...
That's also
Oh,
a nice
well,
draw
now you
for
just
Dustin.
Tempai. Do you take it? I don't hate breaking. I don't even hate Dama.
See what the choice is. There's a lot of upgrades here. Maybe 2, yeah, Dama.
Yeah, Dozen takes the Dama. The
Just 'cause
plan is
2-mon is
not
pretty
to
weak
take the
tile.
3, but I guess if it comes, you might Sumo. Just the scoreline, I don't think you do, though. Be an interesting decision. And we haven't even gotten to Aaron, who now has an Onko of the Chun and getting very close for a Ricci, even potentially Chaunt if you could shift this down, but now the 1 pin's making that
Just the 3-1.
yes.
Don't.
There's a 3 does not win, except across the way, the Sanzo.
Wait 1 turn.
Infui Keiko Dama.
He was waiting
Of
1
course
turn.
Dustin waits on Sanzo.
There was gonna be
Now
Tsumogiri
Daniel's going, wait, maybe I should have just reached.
Well, it was gonna be Ricci next turn, but yeah, whenever Dustin waits on the 3, so you gotta wait 1 turn.
Well, I did pull it in there, close the gap a little bit further. Across the way has a Tanyao type hand. Can accept a Dora on the left, a bunch of Pinzu. Peiko, that's one of those annoying shapes where I could use the 6, and then the 6, and then another 6. But it does have 2 door at least, so looking for any excuse to go Tanya with it. 1 6-pin, though, I think you just chi and go. In front of us, a nice hand there, possibly Peiko. Ricci, Peiko. Dora 1 has the Chun pair as well, and actually hold the 6, a decent floater over the west. Instead, cuts the 7. On the right, it's a Pinfu hand. 3, 4, 5 Sanshoku seems to be the plan, but needs some help in Pinzu.
Dustin's hand's starting to come together. Looking to, if this can try, would like to try to make this Tanyo.
3-pin, well, that's the first one, so imagine you go 2, 4. You do have the overlap now. Needs a 3, 6, or a 5, 8. Oh, there it is. You just slam this, I think.
Yeah, I gotta imagine.
You can get really greedy if you decided you must get Hanemon and play for second.
Wow.
That is the play. This is a one, will not take a win, I imagine, unless something is improved. This is a Ricci Pin Fudora 2. It's already Mongon. Assume has a
not
good
enough?
chance of Hanemon.
Mongon seems pretty good.
Is this the one-turn payback to Dustin?
Each.
It
is!
Okay, there it is. Gotta counter Dustin's strategy. Wait, 1 turn for the upgrade, it didn't come, just Tsumugiri Ricci.
This is Ishan 10 for Dustin as well. Just throws the safe 4 for now. Ooh, 2-pin pair. Can go Chun Chun and advance his hand. Oh, that's just Tempai. I imagine you have to slam. Ricci, Peiko, Tanyao. 3 so 7-pin. Of course he's waiting on Sanzo again.
Yep. Another one.
Oh, 5. Now Ishan 10 for Matthew for a monster, potentially. Oh, 2 door. You just go T-Toy?
Well, how though? What are we even discarding? Oh, this is a tough situation.
This is really annoying.
Is it like 8 Mondelan? What are we? Yeah, it's 8
That
Mondelan.
appears to be.
There's just so little. There's like nothing safe there.
Everything's awful. Reach Pinfu Dora 2. Nathaniel out of last. Matthew taking the hit there. And now pretty clear defined first, second, third, and fourth. And Nathaniel looking to change that. As dealer here with a pretty good starting hand. Not much value, though. Pulse 1, 2, 3, Sanshoku. We have Matthew in front of us with a Tanyao type hand. Maybe any Peiko if you can draw the 5-mon. On the right, that is one of the hands of all time. Yuck. And across the way, that is maybe an Itsu in Manzu.
Drawn into the 6, 7, 8 there.
Yeah, could just cut the 3-so here. Dustin, of course, hates cutting the 3-so, but if it's not there, it's not there.
I wouldn't have minded the 8-pin as well if you want to keep the E2 alive.
Although I
suppose you do need a
fishing
pair.
for the Itsu and Dora. I mean the Peiko and Dora. 8-pin's a really good floating tile in that hand.
6-so draws a nice upgrade here. What block are we gonna break from here? It's
Has
gonna be the
to be the one,
Monzu.
doesn't it? Yeah, gonna give up on the 1, 2, 3 Sanshoku. Trying to move this towards Tanyao. There's the 8, didn't do anything. 3 goes back. Oh, there's a Dora. Actually useless for this hand. Back
It really doesn't fit at all.
4, so good floater. Could go 1-mon here, but is hedging the Itsu. And that's the thing about a shape like this with a 1 through 3, 4, 4, 4, 5, 8, 9, is you can use the 4-mon as a pair if you cut 3 at some point.
Yeah, this is a really strange looking E2 Ishan 10. But it is there.
4 soul as a shift up, but doesn't do anything immediately. 1 so pair up. Ugh. Could kind of backdoor Cheetoy with the 3 so. That's going to be the play. That's an I don't like any of my options discard. And now it looks like the answer was just keep the Dora and go Cheetoy.
I think I had like 3 pairs at the time or something. Just should have known.
Isn't that how Cheetoy always works, though? And yeah, Ishunten now for Matthew here. Ooh, Ishunten there for Nathaniel. You go one so. No, cuts the 3. Once the
Huh.
Ryoncon,
Yeah, I guess it's just one extra
3-5-7.
tile. You don't have the Tanyo chance, but I guess we're
Also, the
thinking
one-so
like
is dead as a Shumpo, and it's terrible. But at the same time, there'd be even more reason to cut the one-so.
yeah, I think it was just like balancing Formon acceptance. Okay, well here we go. Draws into
Yeet.
Tempai.
Okay, we'll take the Formon weight here. It's Richi Nomi. Of
And
course,
all the
Formon
Formons
is
are held.
dead, and they're certainly not coming out of Matthew's hand anytime soon.
It
Interesting,
is
because he could have
potentially
actually cheated the
Nakasuji.
7 and waited on the 2, but the 1000 doesn't really help him with his score. Plus, the 2-mon is kind of bad. Just 2 left. And one of those is across the way. Yeah, that looks like a fold. That's maybe I can sneak back into K10 at the end, but I'm not fighting this.
That is
Neither
Tempai on the
Richi
right
or
for a Dama Tanyo in the 3-pin.
yeah, with the 4/4s.
Would be nice to, let's see how much, oh, so this is one chance? That seems reasonable, but not going to push it.
Aaron, I don't think, has a reason to push it. Just the score in first
Yeah,
place is a dealer Ricci.
that's
You
fair.
step back, even if Nathaniel sumos and gets first, it's not even the worst thing that could happen.
I don't know, my aggressive mindset, I think, would just push, and if I deal in it looks kind of bad, but if I win on Dama 3-pin, I feel happy.
3-pin good tile.
It does look pretty good when you have the Onko of the 4-pin in your hand.
And just going to be a repeat here. 1-player Tempai.
Just temporarily get Nathaniel.
Well, how much do you believe in brute force Chanta? Not much.
Yeah, just gonna start with the 9-mon.
Yeah, it goes with the 9. I think I'd have gone with the 9 mon as well. I could go with an honor. I
Yeah, I think you're
really
a
want to brute
little.
force
I think you're a little
Chanta with it,
far.
though. Everything's a little far is the problem.
Well, not, things
Matthew
are
has a
not
decent
looking
hand with the
that.
Keiko.
Not quite as
Also
far
gets
from
to
Matthew.
Dora.
Yeah.
On the right, Pinfu type hand can also potentially accept a door as a floating 3/6 pin. 8-pin is door. Across the way, Haku pair. Passes the Haku, interestingly. So wants to be making a play for first, not satisfied with second, and Nathaniel draws a door. It doesn't do anything immediately, though.
Might be thinking that didn't have another pair to go along with it, so it's at least gonna pass the first one.
Oh,
We'll
great
see.
draw there for Matthew.
Yeah, Matthew would like a Sunshoku, but it's just so far at the moment. I guess you could also just like Ichi Pinfu Ipeko Dora. Kind of
Oh,
just
well,
needs to
now
get
he's
as
just
many points as
Ishan-10.
possible.
And you just cut 4-pin or 7-mon. And in fourth, of course, you also at least want to drag Nathaniel under 30k if it's
Right.
possible.
I think it's just one of those cases where like the hand's kind of just built. You're just gonna take the Tempai and just
Yeah.
Richi and see what happens.
See if you can flip or turn into a buy-mon, really annoy the rest of the table.
There's nothing you can really force, because like the only thing to add more value I could see is like Sanshoku, but I just don't really see how you get there. Like here's the 6-0, but
this
how
would
does
be about
this?
the only way you could get there, and it's just not here. I don't
It's
see
so
it.
slow to break the
Yeah, because you'd
Bonzu.
have to break one. You'd probably have to cut 1-mon here.
Yeah,
And it's
I like the
so
decision to
bad.
just take the straightforward
Yeah, I
Ishunten.
think you just take the Ishunten. Well, that's useless. 6-pin pair up on the right, getting closer. That is Ishunten, what would be Richinomi.
Home.
There's the Haku. This one is
And
called this
that one's
time.
going to get taken. Going for the Chanta Dora Haku. Ishunten headless. Needs a 8 so badly, though. One so pair up. Doesn't do anything immediately. I might just throw it back. There's the 9. Spouse a miss. Ugh. That's about the only tile I might hedge for an improvement. Yeah, I definitely like the 6-0 here. Because if we get 7-pin, then maybe we think of, dare I say, Riampeko. Oh, and there's his
Okay.
Tempai across the way. Pay Tonki.
And this is 2 in the wall. This is a good weight here. Once cut honor.
Yes, this should come out if it's drawn. Because no one has a bad hand that's just like, I need to fold out here. Another 8, just throw it back. It is a super wide Tempai if you cut the north, but bleh. And the 1-so dies off, so the 1-so 6-pin Shumpo now terrible.
Chi.
Nathaniel going to try and turn this into a Tanya. Ooh, the 4. Oh, and there's our upgrade. We have Chitoy on Dora. Richi, Tanya, Chitoy, Dora 2.
Yeah, there
Dama
is
Tempai on the right now. The 1-so is dead, so it can always cut the 1-so. And I'm waiting on the Genbutsu Pay. Where is it?
a good question.
Just to get something that's too hard, he can't just throw the Pay. There's one 8-pin in the wall still.
This is Dama Yaku's Tempai on the right. Once a 6-pin Katsumo to end the game. See how
6,
much
not
is
the
willing to push.
worst tile, actually. Yeah, it gets thrown. 5-pin is Genbutsu. Oh, the monster hit! Itsumo, Tanya, Chitoy, Dora 2. No Aura, but does that change the swing? It's real. I think that does.
Yeah, it's enough for third place there.
Just barely, but Aaron, the winner here, 23.9. Dustin, 6.6. Matthew with the Honeyman Sumo to 24,900, only minus 10.1. And Nathaniel take the first 4, taking the Oyakabari off there at the end, and the minus 20.4.
What a Chitoy there to end it. I kept waiting for the North to come out to deal into Dustin's hand, but it was the Dora Tsumo that came out first.
You went for Sanzo multiple times. You went for Peitanki. You got to respect someone who's at least sticking to his guns.
Yeah, we even had the classic wait one turn thrown in there as well. So
ARML
Dustin's
said
sticking
game
true
starting.
to the strategy. All right, so we still have. Let's see. We can? I guess we can
They
check to
look like
see-
they took a full 5 minutes.
Okay. Seems like we do have Nathaniel back, moving the cursor around here. So, pretty close first game. I mean, no one.
Well, it wasn't there. It was early. It was close, and then just some big explosions, capped
Yeah,
off by the person who was taking the brunt of them, then hitting a big one at the end.
yeah. No, there were like a lot of swings, but I just mean like in terms of the final scores. Like no
Oh
one's
yeah,
really that
just
far ahead
20
or
here.
that far
That
behind.
23.9 being first place, that's definitely catchable by anyone at this table. Even Nathaniel with that 4. Again, you have 3 games. You can catch that in 1 game if needed.
Yeah, for sure. Especially when it is kind of interesting when you have a format where it's just the only spot that matters is first, so that you can sort of have everyone like trying to gang up on whoever's in first once you get down towards the end. Can be kind of interesting.
Yeah, so as mentioned, the game has started, but we still have 3 minutes yet.
We're gonna have Dustin as our first dealer here this game.
Aaron's second dealer, Matthew across, and Nathaniel on the left. So what's your thinking in each of these positions? No one's really pulled away. You just keep playing your normal game and not worry about it. How much panic do you have after game one?
The only if I was any of the like Dustin, Matthew, or Aaron, I would just be playing normal at this point. With the possible exception of like if Matthew's in fourth late in the game, like really has to get something done. Nathaniel, I would feel a bit more pressure to try to get a positive result. So I'd definitely be like, I would be quite disappointed if a third. I would be trying to like aggressively fight to improve to at least a second and like be okay risking a fourth. Feeling that like if I go 4-3, that's already a really tough start.
Yeah, 4-3 is really hard to come back from. It can be done, but the problem is in these groupings, what tends to happen is someone goes like maybe 2-1, 2-2, and that's good enough.
Yeah. For like first place here, it really doesn't have like a very big lead at the moment. So just I would certainly not be playing safe or conservative by any means. I would just still be like feeling like I need to fight for every point. So regardless of what spot what position I get, I'd be fairly aggressive with just sort of if I'm Nathaniel, like maybe even one step more aggression than that.
Yeah, that's not Nathaniel's fault. Just having to eat at Oyakabari 6,000 in Stealth 4 will definitely put a dent in your score.
Yeah, had a nice comeback to sort of get out of last, but then had that tough minus 6,000 in all last. So it does have a bit of work to do, but certainly has 3 games is enough to make it up.
I still have about a minute and a half here, so. Not too much. I feel at this point, this is in the championship game, I like at least a 5-minute break between matches. This is walk up, stretch, refill your drink, take a quick restroom break if needed, de-stress, and then get back and get focused as you're preparing for the year championship, because that's what this is. 3 more games to determine the 2024 champion.
Has it been announced what the format's going to be for 8 players?
It is going to be 2 series of 4, top 2 Rentai. A Rentai advance to the finals, and then from there, the same thing here.
Okay, so it's going to be like a total of 8 games for
Yes, should be
if
8
you
games.
win.
Although with how long it took these players, to schedule this match, maybe that will get changed by the time everything gets punched in.
We'll see. We'll see.
We've criticized tables in the past. I think one of them waited until Valentine's Day, and we were annoyed by that. This is pretty bad. But regardless, we are in here. This is game 2. Dustin is first dealer. Also, 2-4 Sanjaku can accept a Dora as well. Definitely a Tanya Hunt. On the right, 9-pin Anko could go Junchan. Could just go regular hand, Richi Dora 1. Across the way, maybe a Tanya hand has to get rid of those honors. Has 1 Dora. And on the left, pretty standard pin to him. Maybe some sort of 678 or 79 Sanjaku route.
It really wants to draw that 8-0 on the left there. Fill that door Kanchan. East pair up. That's the double Yaku high. It did just come out, but they're the final ones in the wall. I imagine we're going to see that kept.
I think you just have to hold it. The question is really how much do you believe in the pension? And the answer is you don't really want it, but you kind of have to hold it. I might have even gone 2-so. I also don't mind 4-pin because I don't want to use the East as my pair.
Yeah, I think 2-so is just a bit more of an efficient discard there, but it does have the potential drawn to like E-Peko shapes if you hold it.
It's a Sanso adjacency theory. We are talking about Dustin here. And just as I say that, he says, no, Korak, you're wrong. It's gone.
Yeah, really valuing the second Yaku High Hatsu here.
Oh, 6-0, a great draw there on the left. Upgrades that shape and potential shifts. 2-so connects to the 4. I mean, you get rid of the 3-6. There is the 6. Fremont pair up across the way. Might just brute force Tanya. Could even just call this down. 8-pin, though, isn't going to do much. Definitely want to go out to Zuke for the possible last East.
Oh, another door. Now you're certainly looking to call that down.
Yeah, well, you also have 4 pairs. Could even be Cheetoy. We saw the
That's
power
true.
of Cheetoy in the last hand.
Only true. At the moment, I'm looking to call, but if you draw into the 5th pair, then
I think
that's
you
where I would
have
start
to
to change my
consider
mind.
it. But yeah, I'm definitely looking to call, especially if I can get like a 4-mon.
Tricky draw here. What are we going to see cut?
I kind of like 2-mon.
I
2-mon
was
would
looking
be
at
each.
oh,
yeah,
advantage of
it's
Cheetoy
6
route
mon is fair
play
as well.
normally. On the left, we have Ricci, Pinfu, Dora 1, Nathaniel with a 330 hand, 4-7 pin. Actually, great in the wall, 5 left.
A really strong first Ricci here. It's exactly what Nathaniel wants to see.
9 so safe. Instead, just cuts the 7. Probably a hard folding. I definitely prefer the 9 so cut though.
We're not going to see the fight from Matthew here. A little too far from Tempa, even with the 2 Dora, so just going to ask the Chi option.
Oh, there's the East. Gotta have to fight this now. East shunting. There's the 4, and uh-oh. Of course, we can see Dustin is likely to deal in if he gets Tempai.
Yeah, this is going to be a tough one to maneuver around here. And like this, it's not like the Sozu looks safe either, so there's not like any justification.
No,
Yeah, it's
Sozu's
just gonna
Dora
cheat deal in
suit. This
here.
just maybe. I think this is always a call and deal in.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I like calling that and throwing the 7. The 1 does make it less likely to be waiting on the 4 for a Kanchan, but I like 60 to 7 there. Regardless, deals in 330, no Aura. Again, sounds normal for Nathaniel. But Aaron going to be dealer here with 2 Dora, Kanchan 7 Pin, and maybe 1, 2, 3 Sanshoku across the way. Few pairs, kind of a mediocre at best hand on the left. East pair, call and go, 1 Dora. Hand isn't great. I definitely just want to get this hand over with if I'm Nathaniel. And Dustin with a Pinfu hand, but does have that 1-2 Penshun.
I think it does at least have that Yakuhai and a bunch of pairs to go along with it, so it is a reasonable hand to try to open and call, even if it's not a huge amount of value. Well, I could potentially if you pair up the door, but that's not gonna not too easy to do when there's already a pair of them sitting in Aaron's hand.
Oh, the 7 pin, the best possible draw as Aaron fills in the toughest shape. Now Ishanten for a possible Ricci Pinfu Dora too if you can get that 8 so. Kusho, great fill there for Nathaniel as well. You see the West pair cut from Dustin. Definitely believes in the Sanzo Penchon. Napin just going to get thrown right back. Now the Onko of the 4-mon across the way. Still needs some work, though.
Pokemon doesn't do a whole lot, but does have that West to get rid of.
Yes. You have the shape where you can actually accept an 8 for an Onko or a 5 for an Onko now.
Right. It's also just like a 5-mon floating tile, which I know Dustin
which
likes this
that
3-so
bad.
way,
You have
but
the Peiko route. If you draw a 6-mon, I'd probably just cut 1, 2.
yeah, I mean 1-2 really wants to go here just for Tanyo.
Oh, they say it. We see 6-mon and then a 6-mon drawn, so it's looking pretty dead.
Do have perfect Ishan 10 across the way.
Well,
with
there's your
Ipeco
Ishan
chance.
10. We'll go ahead and cut the 7 so here. Again, just stuck with his Penchun on the 3 so. But there's one person who will believe in it. It's definitely Dustin.
Yeah, that's true.
Chew not going to do anything there. Chew's still not going to do anything. 7 pin, interesting. Did cut the 8 pin earlier.
Well, Khan, a great Khan for sure.
Oh, yeah, definitely Khan. Into a Dora, possibly Peiko with another Dora.
Yeah, it does also give another Dora to dealer here.
It's actually really bad for Dustin as well, because that means there's 1 less 3, so he sees 2 of them. And there's our Ricci on the left. That is Ricci Nomi, I believe.
Yeah, but...
Yeah, waiting 3-6.
2 indicators. Railman, wait, let's go.
Use the East as a pair, so it doesn't have a Pinfu here.
Wow, not willing to push the north, even with door 3 as dealer. Just immediately goes 3-mon, 2-mon.
Sumo.
I guess
Oh,
it's
there's
the
our
Khan.
Sumo.
Okay, yeah.
Sumo. How many Ura? Gets
1.
1,000, 2,000, nets 4, and into first place. Definitely a nice way to start off, especially with how the last game ended. Across the way is first dealer, and I think it's Yoshitoi.
It's a whole lot of pairs.
Whole lot
And it
of
has the door
pairs
as
and the
well.
floating Dora, so possible toy if you Anko something up, but unless the Dora pairs up, I'm oh well, maybe even Son Anko now. On the left, kind of a Chanta type hand, but a bit of a mess. In front of us, Tanya, if you cut the 1-1, just not a great hand. On the right though, definitely the best of the bunch. Hatsu Anko, already Ishunten for Richi Hatsu.
Yeah, I feel like if I get 5 so I'm cheating that, but I think I'm actually skipping the other calls and seeing if I can get a
I
Ricci.
agree. Also, I want the Sanshiko here. I want to move this to 2-3-4 somehow.
It's early enough that you can still be trying to greed serve for some value. Like if you just end up with 1 Han, I mean you'll take it, but it's
Yeah,
not really
exactly. But I'm
great.
really hoping to draw like 6 so.
That would be
Then
a
you can cut the
fantastic
1
one.
and you're feeling really good.
So here's a choice. Has the 3-4-5-6 shape. That is quite a strong shape.
Or
Are we gonna
possible 3-10 with the 1 so. I just throw
Yeah.
it back, and yeah, that is going to be the play here.
This is just the whitest Ishan 10.
5, well, there's your
Yeet.
Tempai. Dare you take it? The answer is yes. We'll wait on the 5 so. Richi Hatsu. I think I might have just cut 1 so there.
Yeah,
But it does lose the Sanshoku route, so that's why this was ultimately slammed.
I
Oh no!
it was the 6, so
It
it would have worked out pretty
was.
well there. I agree with this decision. I think I like just like Richi Hatsu Tsumal. That's already great value, you
Yeet.
know.
Well, gonna
Oh,
win this hand because that 5
Boom.
always comes out. Richi Hatsu. No aura, but 2600. Jumps into second place. Nathaniel Dealer here on our left with a South pair and a Chun pair. Chun being Dora.
holy
So
cow!
then you have to look at the rest of the hands to know that's the best one. Dustin with a very strong Itsu hand here with the 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and a floating Chun Dora. On the right, maybe a Itsu and Sozu, but I think you just play Pinfu and see what happens. Across the way, 3 completes the Rionman, 3, 4, 5. So the shapes are there, but needs a little bit of time.
I'm curious to see what happens with this Dora in Dustin's hand. If he's gonna eye like a Honitsu chance, maybe would like try to really hold it.
Boom.
But if you're going for like a normal hand, it is pretty reasonably fast. And if you end up like drawing around the 4-pin, fill 4, so I can see the Chun coming out.
Yes, when you see the Puln of the Pay by Matthew says, this hand's not worth anything. Give me my 1,000 and get me out of here.
Whoa!
Oh, well, just draw
Holy
yourself.
moly!
Ishan 10.
Monster Onko draw.
Well, this is the type of hand that Nathaniel needs, and he could even just
Boom.
Dama this if he gets something. And we'll just pull it down for 5-8. I think Aaron's just going to die here.
Yes, you are correct.
Like, you look at it and go, are you kidding me? He got their 1 call first row like that? Okay, take the 12,000.
All right, so here we go. Nathaniel already up to 49,000.
Again, this is what he needed after that first game. Nice little Richi Pinfu here. 7 so is now the pair. Dustin has kind of Pinfu hand as well. Maybe the Peiko, maybe door acceptance. On the right, Pinfu hand, maybe 4-5-6 Sanshogu looking okay. Across the way, you have an East pair and, ooh, well, Monzu shapes. Also possibly a 2-3-4 Sanshogu there as well. But I think it may just be a pull and go. Stick so it's in the Trianka. Yeah, just there's no value here. I'm not seeing it. You need some very good draws. Really need 3 so and 3 pin almost immediately.
I think you're right that you just got to call East and just the hand really needs the speed.
It's one of those hands that will get you in a lot of trouble because it looks like it's so close to something good and it just never gets there.
Yeah.
3-pin pair up. You're going to cut the 8, and you luck in the 7-7-9 shape. Can turn that into a Kanchan 8 so. There is 1 out, but with the 9 so being as wide as it is, you figure it's probably in the wall. And there is one of them. Dustin pulls it in. Has a concern of possible Furites in here. Might even throw this back. But at the same time, could go 4-pin or 5-mon. We'll go with 5-mon.
Whoa, huge draw for the E2 Ishan-ten, headless
Ooh,
here.
yeah, headless Hitsu Ishanten. Or you can just draw 2-pin pair up and slam that on the disgusting Suji trap weight.
Great.
Another pair. Just gonna throw this one back.
Okay.
Well,
I guess
I
you
think you
Dama
just
here.
Dama
There's no
this.
Riichi. Yeah, Dama 1-1
Will
for
Dama.
now.
Oh, and there's the 8-so I was talking about. Now, Ishanten for Nathaniel. Oh, and this is just 1-2, isn't it? And you're gonna die. Could go 3-8, but yeah, it's gonna be the 2 and the
So
one turn
Riichi,
wait.
is this gonna be? Is this 1-1 just gonna come out at some point?
If he gets Tempai, I imagine he has to slam it.
Wait, 1 turn, 1-1
8-so is
Sonky.
safe. That'll buy. Oh no, there's the Ipatsu! Riichi Ipatsu, Itsudora!
Wow.
No aura, and ooh, Dustin gonna take a big hit there. Aaron says, thank you. I guess I didn't need the Ipatsu, but I'll definitely take the Bongon off it. And Dustin now in some trouble here, but has a Dora, Pinfu hand, maybe Peiko. On the right, we have a Pinfu hand as well. Nothing fancy there, but you have that 5-so Onko. That's another one of those that the more I look at it, the less I like it. Across the way, you have the Penchon with a Dora. And that's the problem with that 7-so Dora indicator is you figure someone or some ones are on Dora Penchon. On the left, we have 2 Dora. Definitely looking to call that down for Tanyao.
Has the shapes for it.
6-0, nice little pair up. Can now definitely go more aggressive on this. And it's really important that 6-0 pairs up. Otherwise, might end up on this 5-so, which we figure Aaron just has locked up to the end of the hand. And speaking of 5-so, there's the last one. Ishanten now for Aaron would be Richinomi. 9-pin pair could kind of head short Chitoy with like a 5-pin cut. Could also
Well, I
just
think-
throw it back.
Yeah, I mean, you need the pair because it's actually your only head at the moment if you're looking to use sequences in Sozu. 2-so is a great draw. 2-3-4.
Yeah,
there it is. Another one. 2-3-4 for
I guarantee
Nathaniel.
he saw that. 9-so it's going to do much. Can't really call it either. 8-pin. Well, there goes that plan.
Yeah, I think you just.
And you just have to go 9.
So
You could go 1. Okay. I feel that 2-so is just really good in this 12-0. When I see all those 1s out, I just really want to wait out the 2.
Yeah. The Ariaman also had like all 6 tiles, so.
Yeah, it's not that bad. Oh, and there was the other 1-so, of course.
There's a Kanchan Phil across the way.
There's an Ishanten for Riichi Tanyao Dora.
Ooh, huge pickup. It's not the 2-3-4 side, but that is going to be Ishan-ten for the
Super wide
Dora
Ishanten.
2.
2446688 Ishanten. That's like a question that comes up on a pro exam. Which tiles are Tempai? Well, that's one of them.
I feel like there was some cool name for like when you had like connected pairs like that. I can't remember what it is now though.
Is Tanyao Dora 2 or 3, but I imagine the Dora are pretty locked up in these hands. So effectively drawing to the last 6-0 on the wall. Yeast isn't going to do anything. Deciding whether he wants to hold the safe tile, the answer is yeah, we'll hold it for now. The shapes are pretty locked in. 3-pin can slide this down. We'll do so.
Hasn't given up on
Wants to get to that 2-3-4 Saju. Yeah, we both know
it's
it.
actually just dead though.
Yes,
like
2
on
is
board
3
dead.
out in front of Dustin. Of course, you've already cut 1 yourself.
Sumo.
Oh, just sumo. Easy game.
And Sumo Dora continues to extend an advantage. It's
And
eyeing a potential everyone below 30,000.
Aaron's going to be dealer here on the right. Could even go, maybe Kokushi? It's one that's kind of too bad to do anything. That's where I stare at it. The more I look at it, I guess Chitoy. Everything is discombobulated mess. And you have a floating Dora. You could go Chinitsu. Well, okay, it's a Chitoy. Now I'm not even really thinking about anything else. Yeah, Tumon definitely suggests Chitoy. Across the way, Pinfu hand, actually fairly close. Possible Itsu in Sozu. On the left, we have an East pair and a Hatsu pair. Of course, the East is not Yakuhai. There's also a Chanta double Otozuke.
Right. So this
Gee.
is
Oh, will take this. Which one will be taken? Takes the Chanta, waiting on 1 pin only. Cannot win on the 4. But I feel there's a decent chance Dustin ends up cutting this 1. I can't imagine Matthew will cut it unless some massive improvements happen, though.
yeah, that 1 pin.
Home.
It's gonna be
Oh, there's the hot
for
two.
now.
It always feels
Oh!
bad when you do that.
All right, so it takes just the confirmed Tonki weight with a
Yeah,
Yaku
confirms
over
the
the 1
Tonki weight,
pin.
looking for basically any terminal here to add the Chanta. Because what's better than Chanta Tezuke? Confirming Yakai and getting Chanta.
That would be a deal.
Ishunten for Itsu now. And that'll do it. That's Furiten, though. Doesn't take it. How greedy do you have to be to say, you know what? I'm going Furiten here.
The pretty 10 south. I think you want to just be able to roll them, but it is a fun idea.
Yeah. With the score line as it is, I think you just take it. But, oh, I think that 7 looks pretty good here. The 3 doesn't look that bad.
They look kind of the same thing.
Oh, there's our Tempai. Richi Itsu Dora 1. Oh, that is a disgusting weight on that 9.
Oh my gosh. Wait, there's the 291 over on
Oh
the right.
no, and it's G-Toy.
Oh no.
Don't do it! Cut the 6 pin, it's safe! Okay, cuts the pay at least for now. 6 pin is Genbutsu. Could have
Yeah, it could
argued for the
potentially
switch
cut,
there
like...
for that
Okay,
reason.
yeah, well, it's gonna
Oh,
go
now
6
it's just
pin now.
G-Toy, you're fine. Ichibe, that's Tempai! Did not want to throw Dora. That
you're
was
right, that was
Tempai,
Senpai.
Richi Ipeiko.
Yeah, I guess just really hates it into Nathaniel. And the dealer, of course.
Well,
Or,
it
not the
is
dealer, but the
Dora,
Richi.
and it looks bad against both of them. So I
Yeah.
understand it, but at the same time, but Tempai! Well, if you weren't throwing the 9, you're just folding here, and I think this may be the 9 on DLN. Nope, gets the 4 for now. Haku is dead.
4 pin.
Dum.
Oh, throws the 8, there's the Itsu! Richi Itsu Dora 1.
Wow.
Or it doesn't matter, but that's another Mongon hit. And Matthew into second place here at 36,000. Is basically a reverse of game 1 now. Across the way, kind of a Pinfu hand, a bunch of Kanchan to fill. Also a Penchan on the left. We have a double south pair, can call and go. Possible Itsu. Well, now you just have double south confirmed. Dustin with an Ishunten for Richi, Ipeiko, possible Pinfu. And on the right, we have an Anko of Haku. And great shapes. Is that? Yeah, that's Ishunten. Needs a
Double
2
with
score
the
6 pair up.
Yakuhai Onkos here.
That's just Tempai.
Yeah.
You take it?
You certainly
Well,
take it.
Dama.
It's not going to be Richi right now. We'll see if it's a wait 1 turn angle or if we're just going to continue to Dama. Okay, it's
Nope,
just going to continue
this
to
is
Dama.
going for it. There are actually a ton of Ishunten for Aaron. Because 1 Forso is also Tempai.
So I guess we're looking for 6. Okay, wait, it's wait 2
Okay,
turn.
gives up, says it's time. The wait 2 turn Richi.
I think I like the just Richi. I mean, there's like 3 tiles of upgrades. There's like 6 so 3 pin. Oh no! It needed to be wait 4
It was
turn.
the wait 3 turn
3
Richi.
turns, I guess. Oh no!
Another 1 pin. Well, that's actually safe. It's Kabe with the 2s all accounted for. And there's our chase. This is waiting on 8 so for Richi. The Ipatsu! Richi Ipatsu!
Richi Nomi Chase gets there.
Gets it. Doesn't hit the aura, but closing the gap with first here. Matthew, our defending champion, starting to get a run going.
What is this hi-fi?
This is you think you want to make it Kogoshi, but you really don't. It's just Pinzu Honetsu is how I'd look at it. Yeah, I like the one.
That's what my first thought was as well. Just so like 2 honor pairs and then 2 other floating honors. We'll see if we're gonna see a pawn here.
Yeah,
Maybe
you
we are
have
gonna
to
see a
call
pawn.
that because you're going for the Hatsu. You'll decide later if it's just the 1 hon or whether you go for the goods. On the left, nice little Pinfu hand, nothing fancy. Oh, a bit of a backfire on the 9 so. Dustin has a pretty good hand with a Tanyao and a Dora as well. On the right, nice little Pinfu hand, maybe a 79 Sanjiko looking pretty good. Cuts the Forso. Very clearly wants to go Honitsu. It could have just gone with the East.
Here's a cheat. Not going to take the
I
cheat.
would have cheated that. If I want to go Honitsu, I want to cheat that because 3 is just such a good floater.
Yeah, look, it looks like a pretty good
Home.
cheat. Well, certainly
Well,
pawning
there
that.
we're going
Let's
to
see what
see
the
it
cut
taken.
is. Is it going to be the
I
Monzu
feel
or
if
just
you're
the
not
honors?
cheating that, you need to be cutting an honor. Yeah, and that's the play here. And again, Nathaniel had with that double south. Now Ishan 10.
Man, I still... Okay, now the Monzu
Okay, there it
comes out.
is. Full
I kind of would have liked to do that one turn earlier, but we still got there.
full bush. Ooh, big Ishan 10 on the right now for Sanshoku.
That could
Oh, well, I want to throw. Yeah, I like just throwing this back. Oh, this is Toy Toy across the way now potentially. Could cut 2 pin here. Cuts the 9.
This gives you the option to like pull in one mon, and then you get the 3-sided weight where one of them's still Toy Toy.
Right. Well, at the same time, I kind of like the non-Tonki here. But you are a dealer, so maybe you just say it's fine.
Like the 2-pin also seems a pretty reasonable tile to win on. Although it is
Yeah,
paired up.
because you have them
just in
blocked.
time.
The only way you're in trouble is if it's is locked in a hand. Could pawn this for Tempai. I actually like Khan.
Home.
I really like Khan.
Khan is the fun
Home.
option.
Khan is always the fun option, but we have Tempai on the left, and there's a 1-pin drawn, and it will deal in. So just the one Han, 1800 at the Homba, shuts down the double south. The thing about the Khan there is it just makes the 2-pin look super safe.
Yeah.
Like, why would you be sitting there conning the 3 and waiting on 2?
It is very fun.
You'd have to be very innocent, or very evil. I think I'd fall in the latter category. Across the way, we have a few pairs, possible Cheetoy. Might also just play regular special 3-pin draw on the left. The third hand in a row, Nathaniel gets the double south.
The other ones haven't worked out. Maybe this one is the one that works.
Well, we'll see. The rest of the hands, not bad. Dustin has maybe a Honitsu. We'll definitely pull in that. Question is how much you'll hold of these 8 so. You also have Paydora. And on the right, that's just Ishan 10. That's a really nice hand.
Ideally, you get a Ricci there. You're not really happy with just Hakunomi. Although you do see Dustin call, so I guess like...
Okay, Dustin's
there it
going
is.
for it.
That's what
And
you
there's
wanted.
our Ricci. This is an Intotsu with the Peiko confirmed. Ricci Peiko, possible Haku.
You're gonna see the south as...
Also, the pond looks like it could just be anything. You can't
Both
tell the
Haku and the wall.
Cheetoy or anything else. Yeah, Dustin's never throwing this Dora, so he's going to fight this. The only reason you'd hesitate on the 3 is if you're convinced it's Cheetoy. Ishan 10 across the way for Ricci Peiko. But not going to take it.
Genbutsu.
Could back into Cheetoy as well there for Matthew. Another
Ooh.
4.
No, hand's still, I guess, too far to want to try to fight.
Well, there's the 4. Now Ishan 10. Well, now you have 3 people who are stuck on this pay. That is not Tempai. Another pair up. Ishunton across the way for Matthew now. And there's the last pay.
Or can you...
5 is Nakasuji. I'd cut 5 every time.
You could also take Ishan 10.
Yeah,
if you're
he's
willing to
looking for the
push.
Ishunton for the cheat toy, but I didn't think Nathaniel would push the 1 and the 2 into this Honitsu.
Yeah, there wasn't really a safe
There's
way to do it.
Senpai. Confirms Itsu on pay. This is Chun, Itsu, Honitsu, Dora 2, but pay is dead.
Yeah, and I really don't see that one coming out.
No, it's never coming out from anyone at this table. So the question is, where's the Haku? We're still looking for 2 of them. Well, that does not help. We'll switch the Ishanten, maybe deal it on the 4 later. Still waiting for the Haku. Are they both dead-walled?
What is going on? Is this gonna be Hoite? That what if Haku's drawn on Hoite?
You'd
Would
have to
Dustin
shove
push?
it. There's no way you're shoving
Yeah,
Pei, and I don't
right?
think Dustin's ever breaking Tempai.
That'd be
This
a
should just
tough.
be. I think I'd have gone with 9-so, but 2-so's fine.
Okay, he's safe.
He's trying to decide if the one is safer, and does, because the one did come out across. There's a very disciplined play cutting the 1 rather than just brain dead throwing the 7. But we're now in South 4. 3 Hombo, 1 stick in the middle. And Nathaniel's a pretty good hand here. Ricci, Pinfu, Dora 1. Maybe Peiko if he can get some upper Pinzu. In front of us, we have a Pinfu hand as well. Maybe a Ricci Tanyao. Maybe a 5-6-7 Sanjigu eventually. On the right, we have a Chun pair. And the question is, will Aaron just play for the 3rd place? Figuring that 1st and 2nd are way out in front. Across the way, we have possibly Peiko, possible Chitoy, dare I say possible Rion Peiko.
Dustin would need a monk on sumo here, which doesn't seem too easy. Maybe like a Sanshoku would get you there. There's like
I mean, the plan is
chances at
Sumo
5-6-7.
Tanyao and Flippinura, or just Yapatsu.
That would work as well.
But just cuts the by just cutting the pension, the plan is clearly to see if we could just sumo it. Might also hedge towards the Honitsu.
Chun Anka, there's a lot of potential just to be a fast hand there and get this game over
Also
with.
the Dora though really wants to know. Oh well, now it's just Ishanten. That annoying 3-4-4-4-5 shape where you just use the 4 as a pair.
You can't really improve your placement, and you need a Hanimon to get above 30,000. So you're kind of just looking at like raw points, and I think at that point you just like take the cheap hand and secure your 3rd.
Yeah, I'd call basically anything. And we're gonna see a Chi on the left. This is again, we've been memeing about how much Nathaniel likes 2-3-4 Sanshoku.
You're not
But
kidding.
I assure you, it is not a pure meme. He actually does like it that much.
This is kind of a crazy Chi.
Yeah, I think he screwed up and forgot he didn't have a pair.
Yeah. Like this looks so slow. I mean, I guess you're
cutting the 4-pin here anyway, but
yeah.
you don't have a pair. The plan is draw a 9-pin and then another 9-pin. Okay, we're halfway there.
It's still like gonna be Onozuke on 2-pin after all this work.
Yes, and it just super locked. Across the way, we have 3 of those 2-pin in hand and never coming out. For Ricci possible Haku.
This is a strong Ricci here.
Haku Shumpon. Oh, this 1-pin's really hard for Dustin to do anything. That's just a Chi-10. Waiting on Genbutsu 5 for nothing, or Suji 2-pin. Oh, we're going to see a con here? That would be your way to get value out of this.
We'll see what it is going to be. The con. 1 mon.
Can switch here. There are Toy upgrades as well now.
Okay.
On Genbutsu 5-pin, 5-8-pin. Six is such a bad tile. Gets shoved anyway.
It was actually Genbutsu to the Chi.
Oh, yeah, because of the
At
Chi.
least against the Ricci.
This should be, I guess, 3-so? Nope, cuts the 3-pin. There's our Toy. Takes it.
So this...
And with this Kun Con...
Yeah, it's just going to be a Mongon.
Yeah, that's already Mongon because of all the Fu. I feel the 1-pin might come out, though. I'd go 3-1. Yeah, there goes the 1. That is Dora. It is so bad, but...
This could potentially get you positive points, though, with the Ricci stick.
I'd push it. Nope, getting out.
Oh, not willing to go for it.
Not that far. Also, where's the last 2-pin in consideration? Where's the last 1-pin? There's the 1-pin. Okay, would have dealt 10.
Holding on the door dodges the 1-pin dealing for now, at least.
Rewarded. 8-so Suji, that's safe. So now we're wondering, where's the last Haku? Where's the last 2-pin? There's the Haku! There it goes!
Right, what's the error here? No,
No,
we're
55. Not going to be enough to overtake. Nathaniel in first place here gets the win with plus 37.4. Matthew in second with 20.7. Aaron in third with minus 20.1. And Dustin takes some big hits there at minus 38.
wow. This is gonna be quite the change to the scores here. That's the perfect game for Nathaniel to balance out that fourth.
Yeah,
And
and
then,
him and Matthew are going to be neck and neck here.
wow, look at
I
these
think
scores.
Dustin's kind of in fourth now.
Yeah, we have
Be a bit
Nathaniel now
back,
in
but everyone
first
else should be really
place
close.
at just plus 17.
Yeah,
And
first place
then,
Nathaniel 17, second place Matthew 10.6, Aaron in third with 3.8, and Dustin not out of it, but in a hole right now at minus 31.4.
it was a tough fourth. So Dustin is on the back foot. But, Dustin can still come back, and the top three are really close with just basically, 20 points separating third from first. It's like basically a placement between all the top three
ARML said game starting.
positions.
All right, well, I have to take care of something, so I think we have a substitute commentator. I think Binny's in here somewhere.
Yeah, thanks for joining me for the first two games, Korak.
Nice
That was
casting. Good luck to all the players.
Okay. Yeah, this is Bing Yi.
Hey, welcome. Thanks for joining us for the final two games. Were you able to catch the first two games of action there?
Yeah, I've seen the whole second game.
All right. Yeah, it's been a very close battle here for sure.
Yeah.
Still anyone's game, which is exactly what you want to see in terms of for our entertainment. It's always
Yeah.
it's always nice when it's the first place is still in like up for grabs up until the final game.
Yeah, and also I catch up the last hand of the first game with that impressive 七推 Zimo.
Yeah, that was a huge reversal there for Dustin to
Yeah, can't wait to see more and more of that fantastic play in the coming Hancha.
Sorry, that wasn't Dustin. That was
Oh,
Matthew?
Matthew? Yeah, actually
Matthew, I think, who got it. Sorry, yeah, forgetting all the hands. I think it was Matthew who got that all last Simo.
Yeah, and the score so far is pretty tight here. Everyone has a chance to climb it first.
Yeah, so if I'm the players here, like Dustin probably feels like I think he really needs a top two
Really need
position
top.
here. You really want first. If you get a second though, you'll probably still have a chance in the final Hanshan if things go perfectly. If you get another negative score, it's essentially over for the top spot.
Then probably
Barring
hoping
some
for
like crazy game, which we have seen some of those before in ARML.
oh really? Hoping for the miracle there.
Yeah, I don't know what's like the. I mean, we've seen people go like over 100,000
Is my
before, right?
mic? Let me see.
I can hear you.
Because I see the commentary of from Adam, that my mic is pretty low here. Let me see.
You sound fine to me. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Okay, how about now?
So it sounds quite a bit louder. I don't know. How it's balanced on
Yeah, but it's
Nathaniel's end.
it's pretty quiet on stream. Not sure if it's better here,
It sounds good on my end.
like this.
Yeah, that sounds balanced to me. But then again, I don't know. I can't see the like OBS levels.
How about now? I raised the volume on both my mic, the
I didn't hear any
and
change.
the Discord setting.
It sounds the same as it did before, which is fine.
Just don't know what is sounding on the other side. Yeah, let's see. 80% of Lucas. Let me try even harder. Okay, that's probably all I can do for now. I've put all the input volume to the maximum.
And we have just 1 minute to go here. Have to get it underway. We're gonna have Aaron as the first dealer, then Dustin on the right, Nathaniel across the way, and Matthew on the left here for this third of 4 Hanshan.
Well, let's see.
See if Dustin can get a comeback game to keep fighting for that championship position.
Yep.
This is whoever like this is the like if you can set yourself up in a good position for the final Hanshan. Like if Nathaniel can get like a first or second here, like that'll really set him up nicely.
Yeah, or at least just beyond the 30k, so he can get a positive points.
Right.
To help her out as well.
All right, here we go. Looking at dealer's hand. This is not the dealer hand you want to see whatsoever. West Dora, kind of just all bad shapes.
Yeah, cannot see the Yaku from now, but you can waiting on the late reach. Until right, we
Right.
have ace pair.
Yeah, these pair, 4 pairs, so
4
definitely a
pairs.
hand that looks like they wants to open for sure.
Yeah, and cross the board. Oh, that's 9 kind of terminal.
Yeah, that's another awful looking high pie
Yeah.
here. There's the East is offered, and that is going to, of course, be pawned. And we're going to see the 5-3 Kanshan broken. Yeah, definitely holding that north. And actually was Chitoi Ishan 10, but wanted to go for the Toy Toy. And did have good pairs for it with like all 8s and 9s.
Yeah.
And then on the left, that's just a Tanyao hand with a 4-5-6 Sanshoku chance as well.
And have a con chance if he got the 7 pin or something.
So there's another pair drawn. Could potentially, let's see, how much you want to hedge the Sanshoku? Because, okay, it does just get rid of the 6 pin. It's the most efficient discard. You lose the Sanshoku, but it's kind of just the most efficient discard there.
Yep.
Picks up another pair. This is Kansai Chitoi. Of course, unfortunately, that's
breaking
not
the
allowed.
4-6 so here, or you can just come directly.
We're going to see the 4-6-0.
And here, dealer has the white dragon pair. Oh, the 2 pin. That's pretty wide. Ishan 10.
Yeah, can call the 6-pin, 8-pin pawn into Tenpai.
Home.
Oh. It's going to be the second pawn into Ishan 10 for Dustin.
Yep.
Orso is a potential Hanyo draw, but for now, just going to hold all the Sozu. And there is a call into Tenpai. Actually, just takes the Chi. Just wants to be Tenpai right away, so it takes the Champon Tanyo Nomi. Oh, there's Tenpai for Dustin. Draws the 9-pin Onko. Going to see the Haku come out, and that's called by dealer. Who calls into Ishan 10.
52. And here, Tanyo probably thinking of the folding here. Oh, the 5
can
pin.
shift down that one.
And
there's the 8-so, so you get the Toy start for Dustin. Great, nice 5,200 points on the board in East 1. Exactly what Dustin needed.
Great trade. Toy. Here to the East 2.
Dustin's first hand. It's got pretty nice shapes here. It's got a nice Pinzu tiles, Ramen, Sozu. It's got 2 floating Yaku high.
Yep. You can go either the Hongitsu or the Sanshoku. You can see from this starting hand.
Across the way,
And
another
here's a nice
pretty
7-1.
Yeah, that fills in very nicely. 79 Sanshoku chance. Potentially could get some kind of outside hand. You would need to find a pair. You're holding the south as one tile that could do that. Picks up an 8-mon. We'll see. It might just be the south here, and that is what we see come out. You have 6, 7, 8, and 79 chance.
Yep.
Thinking about this 1-mon, trying to like consider like 6-0 for Junchan, but I think you want to just have 6, 7, 8 Sanshoku and yeah, 1-mon Tsumogiri.
Junchan pretty far from here. Junchan will be Sanshan 10.
Yeah, it's seems like you want to just go for the fastest.
Here's the full soul. Goes to Dustin.
Let's give Dustin Ishan 10 here. Trying to fill in this kind of slightly awkward 4-4-5-5-7-9 shape. Although the 6 is a fantastic floating tile, hoping to try to connect to that, use the Dora.
And here's a Tenpai.
Each.
There we go, Richi Pinfu on the 6-9 pin.
It's pretty cheap, but you would take it. With the early reach.
We do have a Tenpai across the way, a Tenpai on the 2-pin. No Yaku, not going to declare the chase Richi. It is Richi Dora 1 for Nathaniel, but doesn't feel comfortable chasing with the Kanchan. It's got enough value to chase, but doesn't like the weight.
But also considering Nathaniel is so far on the first place of the standing board, probably plays safety on this one. Was what he looking for.
Each.
Okay, well,
Oh.
it draws the 8-pin and was like, am I going to fold? No, I'm not going to fold. Well, then why am I not declaring Richi? And sends it.
Yeah, here's the Tsumogiri Richi.
We've seen a lot of Tsumogiri Richis this finals.
Oh, really? And the 4-mon. No Suji for 4-7.
Just goes for the 8-so push, doesn't have anything safe, so just going to try to fight this hand as Dustin, maintaining the Ishan 10. The 4-mon looks horrible, but still going to push anyways. Perhaps feeling some pressure. Oh, now connects to it. You can potentially go like 7-pin, which is Gambutsu. That is what we see.
But here will cause the 9-pin be pretty loose.
Yeah, if Tenpai's reached, that would definitely deal in here. Given the way that Dustin's played this. Oh, Dora draw. Is that going to make Dustin just try to fold here?
There's also 4-5 pin Shantung is
not still pushes with the 9-pin and does deal in.
Which Pinfu? Ratu! That climbs up to a manga. Wow.
Yeah, looks like our commentator box is off. This Nathaniel's hosting and playing at the same time, so we just got to cut him some slack. It's just going to be out of date. I think you guys can put up for it. Maybe we can try to fix it between games if Nathaniel has time, but let's let Nathaniel focus on his game here. Anyways, going into East 3 here, over to Nathaniel's dealership, who's got not a particularly great hand. Maybe you could try to get Tanyo, but the shapes are pretty awful. On the left, that's also a really weak-looking hand. Just draw another 7-pin here, but no obvious value. The best hand here is probably just our perspective here for Aaron with the Yakuhai pair. Has one Dora as well. On the right, there's a 79 chance, so that could be a very expensive hand if it comes together.
And here's the 4 pairs for Aaron.
Certainly probably going to keep all of those. Probably going to be either 2-pin or 5-so.
Could be, the 7-pin.
I don't really see why 6-pin instead of 2-pin. I don't think there's any advantage to that.
Probably keep the Liangkan. Oh, there's 2.
Just didn't care about Chitoi at all here, so you're just going to trim down to Ryonkan. And there's the East.
Home.
It's certainly going to be called.
Here, probably 5-so to make it early Suji
Goes for
bait.
2-pawn instead. It would have been kind of nice to have another pair here, because now you can't actually call pawn into Tenpai anymore. We just see a Tuso Onko picked up across the way. So that hand is looking headless Onko Ishan 10 with an Itsu chance. Really strong hand here for Nathaniel as dealer. It's had some really great draws. That's going to be Tenpai and just slams the Riichi. It is just the Riichi Nomi would have liked the other side, but dealer Ryamen
And
Riichi.
Ipot's the 1 pin goes to Aaron.
Aaron has Pinzu to defend with. 9 pins Dora, but it is terminal Suji, and then you have like 8 pin Suji of 1 Soken Butsu. So this is probably not going to be a deal, and I think has enough tiles to try to fold with.
And hit to the left.
That is Ishan 10 on the left. 8-so would be Genbutsu if you want to try 8-7-so. If you think Pinzu...
So it's pretty dangerous here.
Yeah, okay, it is going to be the 8-so. The 7-so looks bad, but
you still have 9
it's
money.
not really another great way to try to advance the hand. There's another 1 pin drawn on the right.
And here we have 2 1-4 pin left in the wall.
Seems like no one's going to be able to reach Tenpai here. Maybe Dustin, if it has like 7-9 East. East is palmed, so that one would be safe. Dustin probably with the best chance to get Tenpai. I mean, it just has East Genbutsu here. But maybe he doesn't see the pawn. Okay, yeah, maybe I think just missing the pawn perhaps. Because pushes the 3 pin instead of just cutting the
left
Genbutsu.
for the high tay.
There's no reason to
Come on,
cheat.
don't give the high tay to Taylor.
It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Pass. Okay.
Probably really missed the pawn here. And here he's 3-1 Homba. The Dora is south.
This is a stronger starting hand here for Nathaniel. Has chances to call for Tanya. Already has an Onko with an 8 mon. Does have 8 pin pair and an 8-so if we can throw together a Doko perhaps. On the left, another Onko with a 1 mon. As well as pair the 3 mon and the 2-so. There's the Haku called on the right. It does have a Dora of the south. As well as just 3 Ryamen shapes. So just 2 Shanten with all Ryamen to trade. Just calls for a Haku Nomi. And we see Aaron with the Chunyaku high pair. Those two are both on the wall, and that one south. There's going to be the Tanyo call for Dustin. Sorry, Nathaniel, pardon me. On the 8-pin. Did have to get rid of the 8-so, so no Doku Dreams.
Yep. And that's pretty wide, Ishan 10.
All the 2-pin, 4-pin. Would really love to draw the 3-so, 5-so for the Toy Toy upgrade.
And here's 4 pair for Aaron.
Fading between the 6-pin and the 9-pin. It is actually going to be the 6-pin with considerations for Toy Toy and Chi Toy for that 9-pin pair.
Yep. And also with the 8-pin pawn, the 9-pin is pretty safe here.
Dustin really tried to, hard forcing Dorotanki. Holy cow. Pawn 3-so cut the 7-6 Ryamen. It was the 8-pin pawn, so there was only one 8-pin left. But really setting up for a Dorotanki here. Now this cutting the 7-6-so did give another chi for Nathaniel though, who just called the Tenpai on the 4-7-so.
And the 7-so Dustin hand is pretty loose right now and dangerous.
Yeah. That one currently looking like it might deal in. Hand on the left. Oh yeah, there goes the 7-so. That just comes right out.
There you go, the Tanya Nomi. And +1 Rich stick.
Well, this hand looking really slow for Nathaniel. Just kind of all bad stuff. On the left, it has one completed sequence. It's got like a Kanchan or Ryamen, but that has one door 6, so that hand also looking pretty slow. Aaron picks up another Tanyo pair. Could potentially just call for Hanyo, Nomi would love to try to draw some Dora 6-0. Then Dustin on the right. There's an Onko the 3-mon. His also has a 7-8 pin Realmen. Probably just gonna try to go for a Ricci. Has that Dora accepting Realmen. Everybody looking for Dora here. Very usable 6-0 Dora. 7-mon's a nice draw.
For Aaron.
Oh, there it is. Realmen,
Ishan
Realmen, Ishan 10. It is just Tanyo, but like a Ricci Tanyo would be nice. And holding the 6-pin with ideas of trying to upgrade with Pinfu. If you can pull in 4-pin, 7-pin. 7-pin, you'd also have the option to just go headless Onko, which would be great. You just drop the 8-pin.
Yep. The 3-so here.
Might take
Dora
just
Suzuki?
perfect, which is probably going to be better than the 6-pin. No, actually, really greedy this Pinfu. I kind of like the just like when I would just take the extra 4 tiles. I don't think the Pinfu upgrades are worth it here, but potential for more value.
Each.
And there's going to be the Realm and Fill for Nathaniel, who's open bad high pies, but has draws have been really good and keeps making them work. So ends up with a Realm and Tempai.
Break here.
It takes Tempai on 2-5. So nope, but there that gives the Tsumo. She's shifting the wall. No error, 1000 all.
And here is the suit, the 3 Homba.
What a wow! Look at this high pie.
Wow.
This is Toy setup here. Haku Haku non 9-pin Onko and a 4-so pair.
And that's Suanko Sunshine 10.
Home.
Oh, there's gonna be a Pollen for sure.
Okay, Pawn here. Toy
And
with Yaku.
there is like the 7-pin Dora, so you're thinking Toy, but this is sometimes Pinzu Honitsu as well. You can like cut a 5-so if your idea is just go for value. Like the 5-so actually doesn't do a whole lot here. So you can cut like 5-so and greed like a pin tile, and then see what happens if it's gonna. Oh well, there's like the Dora. Actually gonna go for the East, so just wants to keep the like Autozuke 1 Han hand available.
Yep.
I kind of would like the 5-so there first, but this is a bit wider. Hand on the left is also quite fast and does have one of the Dora 7-pin. That's just Ramen Ishan 10.
How about here? Oh, take the Yakunashi.
Well, it does have a Yaku on the Haku.
Yeah, it's Adotsuke of Haku.
Yeah. So this is just the takes the Tempai here. And 6-pin no Yaku, so that one's gonna be fine.
Each.
Dustin actually the first to Tempai here with a Chitoy on the 8-mon. Actually, this 8-mon looks quite good with 3 of the 7-mons already out.
Yeah.
It's 2 in the wall. Fantastic looking weight here. And that's enough just to make Nathaniel just immediately doesn't want to push the 8-pin next to Dora, so just goes Haku Haku. Not really a realistic path to Mawashi here. Probably just gonna have to try to fold. Potentially K10, but it's a ways from thinking about that.
Yeah.
See if 9-so's built willing to push for the Ramen Ishan 10. No, it's not. Goes for the 4-pin, which was pushed earlier by Aaron, who had the 5-pin Onko in hand, so it was one chance from Aaron's perspective. The 9-so one chance comes out.
The 4-mon here.
Okay, draws back into an Ishan 10. Are we willing to... It is free 10 because you already cut the 9-pin. Yeah, it just goes for 8-so here.
Sumo.
It's the Tsumo on that Chitoy. Can Dustin hit the Ura too?
No, Ura.
Doesn't get there. Ricci Tsumo Chitoy. Does put Dustin back above 30,000 points. And this is anyone's game here going into East 4. Dealer starting with a Dora draw. 1, 1, 2, 2, 4, 4, 6, 7. That certainly a start to a Honitsu. And you see the 3-so cut holding these honors. Great looking Honitsu chance for Dealer.
Oh, and the 7-pin here. We're gonna call for anything of Manzu.
Reasonable hand for Aaron, who's got good pinfu shapes and a door 6-mon.
And to the right, Dustin has 4 Menzu. 2面
Yeah,
2面
Pinfu Tushan 10. There's going to be the first Monzu called. Oh, and then there's a Hatsu pair up. So the Honitsu coming together here. Tushan 10 over there. 1-1 Pon.
1
Gonna
on
be
pawn.
Ishan 10 now.
And Haku first.
That clears the way for Nathaniel to cut the
And
Haku.
Ishanten here. No, not really.
Amon, another pair for Dustin, who's actually going to try for a Chitoi here.
Yeah, but Monzu is all dangerous. Probably hold 2, 3, 7 mon, and if you get another single Monzu, it'll be full folding. Oh, 2 mon push.
Give Tempai to Matthew.
And the 4 mon and the hearts each have 1 in the wall.
Naimon picked up. Gonna have to hold that one for now. I'm on for Dustin, who's Chitoi Ishan 10. Is Dustin willing to push a Monzu here? Can they find one? No. 6-pin, 6-pin. Not willing to push any of those Monzu.
And here, if Matthew can sumo with the Hatsu, that would be pretty large.
ポン
And the pawn here.
Gonna try to find way to Tempai. Is kind of stuck with this 9-mon at the moment, but potentially thinking of pushing that at Tempai. Or at least wants to have the option if the 9-mon becomes safe to be ready to accept a Tempai later down the road.
Or at least you have 5 pin, 6 pin to fold. 7 mon.
Oh, 4-pin. Are we going to see a Chi 9-mon?
Chi.
Yeah, we sure are, I assume. Unless it's going to be Sozu. Yeah, it's going to actually be Sozu
Boom.
Mawashi around the 9-mon. If you can get like a 4-7-mon Chi, you can Tonki the 9-mon. As we see. It gives Dustin a Chi who actually is able to get Tempai here. Tanyo Tempai on the 6-mon.
And Kichiki Tempai.
Con.
You can see a con from Dustin? Yes.
Wow.
Knife and door doesn't really do anything here. So it's actually going to be 3 players Tempai here unless we see...
Do you have a Hatsu?
Ooh, a 7-mon!
7 mon. It's just
It's no Yaku though, because it's
one draw earlier.
yeah,
If
one
that
draw
could be
off.
Hote.
Could
Chi.
think about Chi, and yeah, it's actually gonna
9-mon.
Chi. Cut the 9-mon, yeah.
3-player Tempai.
All right. So that makes the game even closer here, with Nathaniel having to pay 3,000. So we move on to Matthew's dealership. Trying to figure out what they want to do with this hand. They have this East Yaku high, and yeah, they don't want to cut it, so they're actually gonna just cut the Penchon instead. Strong hand here for Aaron, who's got pretty good shapes. Could go for a fast Ricci. On the right, that also looks like a pretty strong hand for Dustin, although it does have like 4 honors. Okay, now pairs up the Hatsu, but the door Anko. So much value potential there for Dustin.
Yep.
Can potentially call Autozuke for the Hatsu. The Hatsu is twice in the wall. And then pretty fast hand for Nathaniel across the way. Does have a Kanchan we need to fill. I guess it has 3 pairs, but one of them is the
Boom.
East.
Yep.
And there is going to be called the East with the Yaku high.
Is the pawn here and Yushanten for Tenyo.
ポン
Oh, the Tenpai on 7
Right.
so.
Just the one hand, but could potentially shut down the Dora Onko from Dustin.
ポン
Yeah,
Oh, the
there's
7
Dustin
so
gonna call, but
very
that 7
dangerous here.
so it's gonna be held for now, but I imagine at some point that 7 so will probably come out.
Yeah.
It's just really tricky to use when like the 6 so is only has one left.
Wow. Another uncle here for Aaron.
Saw an Onko chance. Yishan 10. Oh, the 7 so is coming out.
7 so's out.
Yeah. So
ロン
that will just be the shutdown from Nathaniel. All right. Nice dealer starting hand here. Hatsu pair. It's got a door 9 so. Has maybe chance of Chanta if like you end up drawing a Chun or something. Okay, yeah, this is
Or
interesting.
probably
There's gonna be
get 8
Chun here. And Ishan 10 already.
Yep.
One loose Hatsu on the right, which might come out. Nathaniel also has a pretty quick hand. Still needs a pair for that hand, but has some good shapes for Tanyao.
Yep.
And then hand on the left also looks quite fast, with actually already Ishan 10. So fast hands all around here. Who's gonna be the first to Tenpai? I guess
That's
Dustin with a
combination as well.
Dustin a bit behind, but potentially could call the Haku and try to make some calls to catch up. Oh, we're gonna see an Autozuke
Eiso.
Chi. That's a tough one to get.
Chi.
The door indicator 8, so yep, that we are gonna see it.
Yep.
Actually gonna go for the 4 mon. I don't really think there's a way this shifts to Chanta, so I'd rather just see the 1 mon.
But you can make others think that you may be a Chanta.
Yeah, I guess there's no Aka draw, but
ロン
Oh,
okay, well there's gonna be the Hatsu, comes right out. So it gets the Autozuke, dealer 2-han hand, direct hit on Nathaniel. So trade positions and essentially everyone's even here. Dealer with a slight advantage. Does have the South Yakuhai here as well as a 1-pin pair. Gonna start with the Hatsu, but there's chances this. I guess with the Dora 4 so maybe gonna
And
not
cross
go
the bow.
Honitsu.
Nathaniel's
Across the way,
hand
that's
is
the
pretty
Honitsu.
fancy.
Five so Onko drawn on the left. Some pretty reasonable hands all around. Which floater are we going to see cut? You just have a choice of one of the 2s or 8s. It's going to be the 2-mon chosen.
Yep.
That's Ishan 10 for dealer here. South door 1 potentially if calls for it. This is another one where I think if the 5 so came out, you would just Autozuke Chi, although I don't think we're going to see that with the 5 so Onko.
Oh, hey,
Nice ramen improvement.
improve.
There's a Kanchan fill for Dustin on the right. It's actually going to be Tenpai, but doesn't take the Tenpai. Actually going to cut away from 3-mon, holding the 2-pin. I'm not sure what the...
Probably looking for a Sanshoku when you had
Yeah,
the 3-pin.
1
I don't really know how the 2-pin helps you with Sanchoku, but either way, it's going to be dealer reaching Tenpai here on a nice Champon here. 1-pin south, 3 tiles in the wall, south being Yakuhai. And a door as well.
Is Ishan 10 from the main Honitsu.
Well, here's another Tenpai.
Each.
It's Genbutsu way as well. Well, the Genbutsu to the Oya
Wow.
Richi. It looks pretty bad against Dustin's pawn. Chase Richi. Just Richi Nomi, but Dustin is in 4th plate position overall going into this, so it does sort of have some more liberty to play a bit more aggressively.
Yep.
Another pin draw for Nathaniel. Can Nathaniel try to... Oh, but there's going to be the 3-pin.
Yeah.
So there it is. The chasing 3-pin Kanchan gets the job done. Nowhere of it.
Reach Nomi, get rid
There
of the
it is.
dealership.
Yeah, strong hands from Olias. Nathaniel, I think might have been Ishan 10 there at the very end with that final draw, but it's going to be the 3-pin Kanchan from Dustin that gets there.
Wow, look at Nathan's hand.
Already confirmed Ipeko and like Honitsu Chen. That's it. That does it. Menhon Isha, yeah,
Menhong
Chitoi as
Chito
well.
Ishanten. Yeah.
Dora 3-so. Okay, that is a crazy hand.
Hey, if you draw the 3, so that would be really powerful.
Yeah, you could like just probably
Boom.
just Ricci on the non-Tonki at that point. It's a once cut
Yep.
honor.
Oh,
Okay, well, we're gonna
4-so.
see Haku come out. This is just Kutsuki Ishanten. What a ridiculous hand.
Yeah.
It's Ryampeko on 3-so, 4-so.
Each.
And
Oh,
this
in
is
Tatsu,
Tenpai.
it's gonna see Menhon Ricci, Menhon Ipeko Dora. So it's Hanemon Sumo.
Harimon.
Chi.
Here's the Ipas break. Ooh.
Boom.
Dustin gonna try to fight here. He's actually calling into Tenpai here on the 6-so. Tanyo Nomi, can Dustin shut down another expensive hand? Up, draws a
How about
7-so.
here?
Uh-oh, the 5-so.
The 5-so.
Oh no, which one? Kanchan or Shampon? This is a big moment. It's the 7-so!
Ooh.
Lives for now! Dodges the 5-so deal in.
And that's the season champion's choice.
On the left, we have a 1-so Genbutsu follow cut. There's another 7-so. Now switches to 4-so for Dustin.
And 4-so is the Suji right now.
We're gonna see a 7-mon come out on the left. Oh, now draws into, this is Ishan 10. We're going to see another 7-mon come out? Yeah, I can't really take it.
Oh,
Another 2-so picked up. So
last
the
2-so.
2-so's dead, the 5-so's dead, the north still has 2 in the wall. No, 1 in the wall. Only a single weight left for Nathaniel. There's the 4-so that Dustin needs.
Sumo.
Does it again!
Last 4-so.
Shutting down Nathaniel's monster hand with just a Kanchan again, Tanyo.
It's definitely the heartbreaking moment for him.
Dustin really fighting for his life here. And maintains his first place position, keeps his dealership. 8-so Dora. He's got a very reasonable hand here. 5-mon Onko has one of the Dora. Already 2-shanten. Daniel also with a pretty good hand.
And Matthew has the Chunhatsu Toitsu.
Now draws into the 8-pin, so that's going to be Ishanten here. Gonna cut the Shaw, holding the 6-so to try to improve off the 1-3-so Kanchan. This is just gonna be the Polno. This is just gonna be Tenpai taken. Just Hatsu Nomi. There's 9-pin upgrade to add a Chanta for +1 Han.
Oh, but 2-so is become an uncle in Dustin's hand.
Dustin with just a Ishanten here has that Ryantan shape. Okay, gonna be the Chun Palm, just adds +1 Han here, cuts the 9-so.
Here's the wider
Also doesn't
Ishanten.
really do. I guess you could cut Pinzu here if you want. Yeah, it is actually gonna be a Pinzu.
Yep.
I might have just thrown the 5-so back, but this is a wider.
Ooh, the 4-mon.
And different Ryantan. Could see the 5-so come out. That is what we see.
Yep.
Keeping both the Ryantan shapes. Whoa, okay.
Wow.
Another Onko? Wait, Suonko Ishanten?
That's Uncle
Each.
Ishanten.
But that's gonna be Tenpai for Dustin here.
Yep. Tenpai on 3-pin. But what if Aaron has the 3-pin uncle and with the Suanko Tenpai?
Holy
Each.
cow.
That
What
would
if
be
what
tragic
oh
for
there's another
Dustin.
Ricci from
Boom.
Daniel though, who's gonna chase. This is gonna be the pawn into Toy Toy Tenpai. So we have everybody Tenpai here. South is Shonpai, but is there gonna be a fold option? I don't even know what you'd fold with against everyone here. You could try like a 6-pin. Or is it just going to be south push to maintain the tempai? It's going to be the 6-pin.
Here.
So tempai break on the left.
And 2-pin Genbutsu. 4-mon.
Uh-oh, 4-mon from the Toy Tempai. This would deal into Nathaniel.
Dong.
But goes for the 3-pin, that deals into Dustin instead. Tried to Mawashi a little bit. It ended up dealing into a Mongon from Dustin. What a comeback. Oh my gosh, wait, we have more crazy hands. I can't even, immediately my eyes are drawn to the left. What is going on with the hands this game? We've had some crazy hands. Already definitely just immediately going Honitsu. There's the Haku, which can be called. 6-mon, nice draw for Dustin, who doesn't have too bad a hand. Already 2 calls for the Honitsu. Actually just cuts the 3-mon. Really wants the... Yeah.
We want to
I guess
time
wants like
the-
Toy value potential. Because if you draw into like Non or Hatsu, then like you have the Ryomen Tempai that could potentially shift into Toy.
QP, and here's the 5-6 Liangmen. Yishan 10 for Aaron.
リーチ
Well, that's going to be immediately Tempai for Nathaniel already. Ryomen with the
Menpin
Ipeko
Tanya,
chance.
Takame Ipeko.
The 4-7 is really annoying draws for this Honitsu here. Actually, just going to be East. This Honitsu is completely given up after those 2 draws.
And here's the Yishan 10 for Dustin as well.
Gonna try to fight.
Ooh.
Yeah, still continuing to
67.
fight here from Dustin.
Sha. Genput. East.
I'm not sure why. I guess West is twice cut. Seemed like it would have made more sense just to follow Katsuso, but I suppose the West's twice cut is safe enough. Well, there's a 4-mon for an E2 chance. That's a very nice improvement.
Yep.
Although the 9-mon is actually not dead. I could achieve that.
Here.
But instead just draws into Tempai. It could skip. Now it's
Yep.
Tanya Ricci instead.
Tanya Ricci.
Skips the chi for Tempai and is rewarded immediately for Ricci instead.
And that's waiting on the Genbutsu. 3-6 ping.
Looks horrible into Dustin though, so
Yeah.
would be a pretty desperate cut.
Oh, the 6 ping here. That's the last 6 ping. No, they still have one more.
Alright, so gonna be another Ryukyoku. Dustin defends the dealership.
Yep. Here you go, the 3 Homba. Wow.
Reasonable starting hammer. Dustin has one of those South Dora. It's got some good Sozu tiles, excuse me. Nothing crazy. Across the way, there's one Yanku high. The rest of the tiles are pretty bad. Seems like our hands, well, other than actually, the best hand here is definitely just gonna be Aaron.
Yep. A nice ace over Matthew.
Aaron does have this one South Dora.
Boom.
It has plenty of tiles we cut before. That was probably like Hatsu and 9-pin before it, but we'll see how long Aaron wants to hold on to this. We do see the 1-mon pawned. This is like, it could be just Hatsu Arazuke. Well, now you connect to the 3, so you're gonna cut the Pinzu because there's also like chance of Monzu Honitsu after the 1-mon pawn. But you're really hoping to draw like Haku or Chun. There's the Hatsu called. So probably at this point you just got Haku Chun. I guess you got 7-mon as well. 4-pin even.
Oh, and 4 pairs here. You can call for the Toy here. If you really want to catch up the speed of Nathan.
You could, well, now Forza. I think your Menzen shapes are just better than trying to call for Toy.
Yep.
Well, there's another Ryamen, so that's going to be Ishan 10 for... No, it's not going to be Ishan 10. Honitsu Greed, here we go. Shosangen Chance, perhaps? I guess that's a bit optimistic, but it really wants to try for the Honitsu. Does not have just the Hatsunomi.
Yep.
I guess it wasn't Ishan 10 because it didn't have a pair, so it makes sense to cut the Ryamen.
On here, going for Toy.
Yeah, you were right. Didn't want to go for the Menzen. Destined to find one more pair, but I guess it's thinking of the Dora as the fifth
going
block.
for the Nantanki.
That one's still 2 in the wall, so definitely could potentially find that. On the left, we do just have an Ishan 10 for a Richi. Could potentially shift to a Sanshoku with a Forso draw.
Five pin.
Home.
There's the second call. Gonna cut one of the honors here. It's gonna be the Twice Cut Chun. There's the Dora pair up for Dustin.
Yep, and Ishan 10.
See Dustin. Oh, well, they're gonna just be the 2-pin. Just gonna take the Richi Nomi on the 3-so. Wow, this is actually okay. Never mind. Ipatsu. I was about to say kind of a crazy Richi Nomi on the twice cut 3-so, but it is rewarded with an Ipatsu. Kind of a wild Richi, but it definitely worked out.
Lychee pots with 3 Honba and 2 Reach sticks. That's a lot.
Yeah, gets up to just shy of 30,000. So it goes on to finally gets past Dustin's dealership. We have 2-pin Dora pair starting for dealer, although the shapes aren't great. The left has got already has 1 Onko in the pay. He's got the 7-mon pair. Doesn't seem to have an easy Yaku. Probably just gonna try for a Richi. 7-so great draw here. So fast hand for Aaron, who's already gonna be Ishan 10 for a Tanya with potential on the 6-mon. And then Dustin with the Chun Yaku High Onko of the 9-pin. Potentially has a Dora 2-pin that's floating. See if Dustin wants to call the Chun if that comes out from Nathaniel's hand. Here's gonna be Tenpai, and it's actually just gonna be Dama Tanyao. Trying to, I guess, add 6, 7, 8 here. Not happy with just Riji Tanyao. Trying to make a comeback here with a 7-pin or 8-pin draw. It is only turn 4, so oh no, well 30-10 Ricci or something? Or is it just going to be 4-pin Dama? What is going to be the option here? I guess you could Sumo if you just want to take the cheap hand.
Ooh.
5-so.
Still hunting for the Sanshoku.
Yeah. Although if you wanted to hunt for the Sanshoku, you would cut 4-pin.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what we're hunting for exactly. Maybe just thinking maybe the idea is just to find a Monzu draw and then just take Riji Pinfu. That could be.
Could be.
Home.
Do have the Chun called from Dustin on the right.
Ishan 10 is probably Tanki on Dora.
It could call the 9-pin, 6-pin into that Tonki. Could also just Kutsuki Ishan 10, just draw around it.
How about a Pei Tanki Lich here?
Doesn't want to go for it. Still trying to hunt for something more value. Could have gotten Ipatsu potentially on the left.
Yeah.
That Pei Onko. There's another pair drawn. I think that's Chito Ishan 10. Seems like we're getting a bit of lag here.
Freezing right now.
All right, we're back.
And Matthew break the Pei Uncle looking for a Chitoi.
Yeah.
And 6-mon here, is that thinking or are we lagging?
We're just thinking, decides to go for the 9-mon discard.
And here's the Yakuali Tenpai on 5-pin Tanki. Or Kanchan.
The 2 Haku Nathaniel needs, I guess there's 1 Haku in there.
How about now?
This is not for D10. Still looking for Sanshoku. Really trying to greed this hand.
Yeah.
봄.
There's the Haku that comes out, so now dealer gets their Yaku, door 2, Tenpai on 5-pin, 8-pin. Oh no. Okay, it's
Oh
like
no, the 5
if we
pin.
ended up like dealing in at the end of all this, that would be so
Yeah.
tragic.
The 8 pin.
Away from the
One.
4-pin, that's Genbutsu. Then has East, which is also just East is just a super safe tile. That's 3 cut. So Genbutsu.
Yeah. What if Aaron?
Tenpai reached for Dustin, connected to the Dora. Now 1-pin, 4-pin.
Oh, the
Oh
4 pin
no!
here.
Oh no! There's the 4-pin that comes out.
Oh no.
So after all that, just ends up with dealing in. And we go into all last. Really close battle for second here between Nathaniel and Matthew.
971 here. You can see the Pingfu Tanya.
Yeah, with a Dora 5-mon as
This Dora.
well. Potentially make something happen there.
Wow. That's the Ishanten Farron.
Nice draws. Would really like to get the Tanya. We might see the 9-pin come out pretty early here for just any Tanya tile. Oh, Tenpai! What are we going to see done here?
But
Are we going to see like 9-pin Dama, 3-pin Ricci, 9-pin Ricci? What is the choice going to be?
Probably Dama here.
9-pin
Looking
Dama.
for another Dora or something on the Manzu.
Okay, skips the
Past the
Ron,
3-pin.
and it gets pawned.
리치.
Now we're
Ricci
just
on
going to
2-pin.
see Ricci
Yep.
waiting on the 2-pin. There's a Kabe on the 3-pin. This could
Yep.
potentially get Nathaniel in trouble, though has like honors to defend with. Also would like to fight to get a positive score, but maybe the hand's not good enough. Haku Onko. Okay, cuts 4-pin, because that's Genbutsu. We'll see if Nathaniel wants to fight, because 2-pin is Kabe.
Yep.
And it's a reasonable hand to want to fight with. No! Discipline fold from
Go
Nathaniel.
for the-
Just does not tempted to try to push for a positive result. Just goes Haku, Haku, Haku.
Pretty
Nice
solid.
discipline to fold on the 2-pin there.
스모.
And then, okay, gets the Tsumo. So Ricci, Tsumo, Tanya, Dora.
The Ura. No.
Doesn't hit the Ura,
Monka.
but does get some big points back.
Yep.
Not going to be quite enough to get out of last, but it is 8 more rank points at least to mitigate the loss. We see that Nathaniel does end up finishing in third. Matthew, despite having to pay out the Tsumo, finishes with a negative second, and that is exactly what Dustin needed, who came into this game in a pretty deep fourth, and now gets a first place with the only one with a positive score, gets the full, all the UMA, no one else gets a positive result, and that's a huge shakeup. Let's get the final scores here, because this is going to make things really, really close. Yeah, okay, so that actually is enough to get Dustin out of last into third, and oh my goodness, this is unbelievably close. We couldn't have scripted it to be closer than this. Aaron at minus 19, who's not even that far out, 25 points down, easily could still win this. And then Dustin, Matthew, Nathaniel, all essentially tied. If any of them get first place, they just guarantee themselves first place in the championship. So this is very easy win conditions for any of Nathaniel, Matthew, Dustin. Just I have to win and I get first place. If any of them win, it's easy. If Aaron gets first, then potentially whoever gets second could would likely win the championship unless Aaron pulls off what Dustin did here and gets like a huge first.
And here we are passing my seat to Eric.
This is actually like really annoying for Aaron because like you look at it and you're like, oh, I'm only 25 points down, but you're 25 points down to like everybody. So
Yeah.
you have to get first, obviously, but not only do you have to get first, but you have to get first with like a 25-point buffer. So that's you get 10 from the UMA, unless if you're the only one positive.
Second place down 30k.
Yeah, if you're the only one positive, that does it. Basically, I think it has to essentially, unless you script some sort of weird thing where like everybody finishes right around 30 points. At first place where second place is negative would do it for Aaron, but also if you're just 15,000 points. Well, I mean, it would depend on who you're. Are we taking a break? Sorry, is that what you? Okay, sorry. Yeah, we're gonna take a quick break. There's a short intermission before the final match, but yeah, we're gonna step away. So see you for this final match. All right, we are back. The final Hanchan's going to be starting shortly. We have another commentator switch for the final game. We have Eric joining us for this incredibly close championship final game. Hey, Eric.
Hi, how's it going? It's been very exciting watching the first 3 games so far.
Yeah, we have a fun situation here where if any of Nathaniel, Matthew, or Dustin get first place, they don't have to worry about whatever their score is, whatever else is going on. Just if any of them get first place, it's easy championship. And then for Aaron, it's a little bit more interesting. Aaron actually is going to need to have a gap of either like it essentially is down about like 25 points. So you'll get 10 points. He needs to get first, regardless, but then also needs to have either like right around like a 15,000 point gap, or have a situation like Dustin had that last game where the only one first and everyone else is below 30,000.
Yeah, I was writing it down on scratch paper, and this is very hurried math, so it could be wrong, but I think Aaron would need to be at least 14,700 above second place. 14,600 would produce a tie. Unless, of course, you get that situation where 3 people are sinking, in which case the UMA is 20, 0, -5, -15, in which case I think that is sufficient on its own.
Yeah, I mean, you have to imagine any game where you're the only one 30,000, you have more than like 5,000 points above 30.
Yeah, so we're going to see some pretty aggressive play from Aaron, probably, unless he gets a very strong start at the beginning of this next Hanchan. And then for everyone else, it's kind of do or die too. It's I guess they can let Aaron get ahead and play for second place if the gap is maintained at
Right.
less than 15,000, but that's definitely going to be the head scratcher if that happens.
Yeah. But no one's gonna have it easy here in this final game. Needs to.
Absolutely. Let's see what's happening with our screen here.
We're just waiting for the game to start. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. So we see a different screen. We were just looking at the
ARML
lobby
said
screen,
game
and,
starting.
it hasn't popped up just because they haven't quite started yet. So we still are going to have a few minutes, and then the 5-minute delay once they do get started. So we still have a few minutes before the match gets started. Who right now would be your pick to win this final game?
Well, unfortunately, Aaron's on the tailing end here, so he's probably the least likely to take it given the tough conditions needed. As for the other 3, though, it's just so close you can't tell. Personally, I've played against pretty much all of these players at this point, so it's hard to pick a favorite. But of course, Nathaniel puts so much hard work into the stream every week. He's literally putting work into the stream while playing in these finals, so I hope he does very well.
Yeah, certainly. I definitely match those sentiments. It's kind of fun. I feel like we have pretty different play styles of all, especially like between like Nathaniel, Matthew, and Dustin. I feel like all those 3 have like really distinct styles. Where like Dustin's kind of like hyper aggressive, goes for like sort of doesn't always make the standard play. I feel like Matthew kind of just plays like really efficiently, like likes to just declare a lot of reaches, and then Nathaniel's sort of more on the defensive end. Certainly, knows how to aggressively pursue some hands and will adjust that play style accordingly in this final game. But I feel like it tends to lean more on the defensive end. If you see Nathaniel sort of pull into an early lead, you might see him really try to protect that with some more defensive play.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'd say Aaron's playstyle is kind of a mix of Dustin and Matthew in that he does play rather aggressively at times. But I'd say it's less aggression towards the table and more aggression towards forcing value and shape. Definitely kind of a lot of going for Yaku kind of early. I was watching some of the past seasons league games that he was playing, and I saw a lot of that kind of like forcing the Honitsu from very early on and going for these kind of big dream hands, not even necessarily when he is behind. And that's probably going to work out well during this match given his conditions. Yeah, you're not going to be able to just play standardly here.
No, for sure. I think that's definitely important to have that sort of optimistic view of hands where rather than just sort of like give up and just go for like the quick like Ricci pin for 2,000 points. If you see a chance to somehow turn that into a Hanuman, even if it's like a 5% chance, he's kind of in a position where he might want to just take that gamble.
Yeah, absolutely. So it looks like Aaron's going to start off as a dealer here. South is going to be Dustin. Across the way, we have Nathaniel on the west seat, and then we're going to have Matthew as the final dealer. It's interesting. I'm not sure that Aaron really wants to start at the first dealer with flat points. It's kind of got that reputation for being pulled away from you instantly by whoever wins the fastest hand. Since people are just kind of trying to upset the scores a little bit, but. This is also Aaron's opportunity to take a lead right from the get-go.
Yeah, I think it's in these like final game of a series, like a set play, I think it's always really advantage to be the last dealer because you can get into a situation where like the other like you have usually at least one, maybe two ideally desperate players who are like only trying to win with big hands, and you can like it can make it a lot easier just to build up a wrench on.
Yeah, I agree. You get a little bit more control over the situation, and even if you're in first place, you have the choice to keep going to build a buffer, or to deny that and take note 10. So you kind of control the flow of the game a little bit more than you normally would. Now in real life tournaments, people don't like being north because they run out of time and then they don't get their second dealership. But this is very different.
Yeah, that is always it does always feel bad when you pull north and know that there's like a reasonable chance you never see that second dealership.
Yeah, as Q notes, thus the seat win draw procedures. Now, I've been very happy with tournament play in the US the past year or so. I feel like the speed of play has definitely gone up. More matches are completing. So I've hated North a lot less. But I feel like sometimes people tend to overstate the importance of starting as a particular seat.
I definitely agree with that. I think like in this game in particular, I think it's going to be more important than it normally would be. But you know, for the most part, especially in like a tournament, just like if you're playing like uh, a scramble or something, and it's like the first game, I don't think it really matters what seat you start in.
All right, we should be starting any second now. Looks like the times are matching up. Let's see. Come on, Tenho.
Let's hear that gong.
If we hear it a second time, then someone at the table's in trouble. Will we see any amazing Yakumans? I doubt it, but you never know. All right, and here we go. Doors the Tuso, starting off with Aaron as the dealer. Pretty solid hand, double tone
Wow.
and 5 Ryanmens.
Really nice. It's kind of awkward, or like I think you definitely just can't skip the double tone. But it's kind of awkward that like you don't have another pair, and you do just have all Ryamen shapes for like immense in hand. But okay, well now has the pair, and the double tone is just so strong. You even have the chance to pull in a Dora for a 3 on hand. Hand on the right also looking very strong. That already has like Itsu chance, Ipeko chance, Junchan chance. So many different ways that hand could go. There's the one so. What are we going to see Dustin do here? How much are we leading into Junchan?
I think Dustin is struggling whether to keep that 8 pin for the 789 Sanshoku, but eventually goes to try and secure the Tuso acceptance since that works towards the value and the Yaku.
Nice 4-pin draw on the left. That hand's also Ishan 10. It does have one Dora. It is Kanchan, but could potentially go for an early Ricci. We have some strong hands all around here.
Aaron's hand got a little bit more awkward. Lost a pair of 7-mon during that 9-mon. Is now 2 Shanten with 4 Ryanmen. Quite an odd situation.
Yeah, the East is really awkward. I guess it's not going to come out, so we're not going to have to make that decision. It is Mochi Mochi with Nathaniel across the way. But it'd be really tough to decide whether or not you'd even want to call it. Well, now you're just Ishan 10 for Ryamen. Considering the overlap Sanshoku chance. This is could be a powerful deal of Ricci here.
Yeah, Sakigiri's the 7, so to keep that safe tune.
Dustin committing for this Junchan doesn't keep the 7 so pair. If we told him
Yeah.
to draw like the 9-mon or the 1 pin. Or if not that, then maybe a bunch of Monzu. Okay, well now draws into a Penchon. It's still, you don't really have a pair. Goes for the 5-mon. Yeah, definitely going for this Junshan. Fully committing to that. Was keeping that around with like maybe ideas of Chinitsu, but decides to go for the Junshan. There's a
Dustin's
Railman
hand
upgrade.
could,
Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, Dustin's hand could get really awkward if he draws like a 6-0 or a 4-mon. It just loses pretty much all the value.
Yeah.
Though, actually that's not so bad because, you just chuck the 1-2 pin, get Pinfu. But you're definitely hoping for more out of this hand.
We do also see Ishan 10 for Nathaniel as well.
Oh, Dustin's actually going to take the call there. Going to take the Arazuke. Either needs the 9-mon, the 1 pin, or the 1-mon. Actually, needs the 1-mon plus one of those other two.
Yeah.
Be a Junshan only for.
Ooh.
Oh, there we go.
Which
We take
we're
the
going to see the
1
1 pin Tonki. It just came out. 2 left. That's going to be the Tempai reach. It's actually the Chitoi Tempai found here.
And 2 8-pins left in the wall. It just became. Oh no, it already was Suji. Plus, it's also safe against Dustin, who called. Dealer Tempai can drop the half Suji 4-so for the Ryanman or take the Shabo.
Goes for the Ryanman.
Yeah. And it pays off.
Perfect start here for Aaron. Doesn't hit the Ura, but 7,700 points.
And
Now,
another
and
double
again,
tone
the East
pair.
pair is back. With the Dora again.
Yeah, it's almost a little unfortunate that you have the Dora because it kind of ruins the Honitsu chances, but a 3-Han is great here.
Yeah. Already
We
just
have
cutting
a-
the 8-pin, happy with these blocks.
We have a potential Hatsupon off to the right. There was a small Itsu chance, but cut the overlapping shape in favor of keeping better shapes elsewhere. Draws another 5-mon there to improve even further.
You can pull in the... Oh, there's the 6-mon. Cuts away from the 9-mon, keeping the option to draw the Hatsu into Tempai. There's going to be Tempai. Which Tempai we're taking? Ramen or Champon? Champon going for the value play, and this Hatsu is loose in Aaron's hand. And Aaron's in the position where they're going to want to fight. So this Hatsu is going to be very tough to avoid the deal in.
Yeah.
Maybe you could go
unless it
6-0,
pairs up.
6-0, but I mean, at least can dodge Ipatsu. The Haku draw.
It's probably going to come out.
It is. Definitely gets rewarded with the Champon. It's the extra value from the Hatsu.
2 Ura. Oh,
It's
God.
really tough for Aaron and really good for Dustin, who now jumps out into that first place lead.
And Dustin starts with not a half bad hand. Kind of needs to find a pair somewhere else to make best use of that 2-3-so and the Dora acceptance, but a great draw of that 7-mon sets the hand right.
Early 4-so cut, holding these 2 honor tiles.
Maybe trying to force the 7-8-9 Sanshoku and thinking of Chanta seems a little bit of a stretch. Unfortunately, backfires the 3-mon.
Drawing in for Nathaniel as well, who could potentially draw into an Monzu Itu at the right draws. Does kind of need to find a pair somewhere. You don't really want your pair to be 5-mon at the moment. On the left, that also has 2 completed pins. You could look to try to get Itu over there as well. You just need to draw the middle pins.
It looks like Aaron is holding most of those pins. Who actually rejected a Penchon, the 2-1-mon, in favor of keeping the Dora, but out it goes. Already twice dropped now.
Yeah, and is looking at just a Tanyo, so opting to... The Dora doesn't really work with the Tanyo anyways.
Yeah, you got that awkward overlap on the 7, so that you'd prefer to call if possible. Fortunately, it looks like the 7-so is completely occupied in people's hands, and very, very solidly so. I can't see anyone wanting to drop them.
Tough decision here for Nathaniel, who has choices between like a Kanchan Yeah, okay, yeah, it goes to the 5-mon, so it doesn't have to choose here. This way you have like E2 draws still, you have 4-mon Tanyo draw, and then you have the option to cut 3-mon for just the Ryumen Pinfu. Oh, there is the 1-mon. Are we gonna try for the E2? No, doesn't want to go for the Kanchan Ryumen. Just with the overlap, really wants to keep the 4-5. So
Right, I'm betting that if the 2-mon had been drawn, the story might have been a little bit different. But with 3 1-mons out, it's hard to say.
yeah,
Oh, okay. This is quite an interesting draw here.
what are we? Are we gonna just see the 9 so for Tanyo? We're gonna go for the 8-pin. That one's a little. You don't necessarily need it. The Pinzu shape is pretty strong even without the 8-pin.
Yeah, there's a Sanonko chance here as well if the 4 or the 6-pin gets drawn. And we would probably see a Dama in that case looking for the Suanko.
Yeah, no call on the 6-pin. Doesn't want just the Tanyo here. We're looking for something more expensive. There's going to be the Ricci and ends up dropping the 3-mon just for that Pinfu. 4-7-mon wait.
Looks like there's 3 of those left in the wall. And it doesn't look too terribly safe against Nathaniel. 7-mon looks a little bit safer because the 5-mon was cut before the 3-mon from the hand, but you gotta watch out for edge cases like this.
Dustin has a chance to fight here. Ramen Ishan 10. Looks like the East is the East Shompai. East is Shompai 7-mon is drawn. Okay, willing to push the East.
It's surprising there's still 3 more Easts left in the wall this late.
Ooh.
Oh, Ishan 10 for Suanko.
Okay, well, just Chi and Dylan going for the trying to hold the dealership. Just a rather small deal into Nathaniel.
Yeah, not the worst outcome. And Nathaniel's hand is a little bit on the slow side, but does have the Dora, the potential to pair up double tone or tune. But it's going to be hard to compete with the Haku pair on the left, which seems like it'll be fed in maybe a couple turns.
Aaron's got the potential to just call Hatsu for another just Yakugai hand, although it would be rather cheap. And now, yeah, Ishan 10 I think is probably going to skip the Hatsu, I would imagine, if it came out, and just try for Ricci. But I don't know. We'll see. You could just call for the cheap hand. See how Aaron wants to play it.
Yeah, that's definitely something that I expect Max to make a play on. He likes to pass that first Yakuhai in favor of going for the Ricci. But ooh, that 2-pin pawn is going to be bad news for Aaron, who is very reliant on it.
At least has this nice 4-mon floating tile, so I imagine we're just going to see the 1-pin, 3-pin come out and just hope to draw a replacement block around the 4-mon. Might even... Okay, yeah, it's just going to cut the 1, so locking in the Champagne.
If Aaron is super lucky, there's even a shift to a 4-5-6 or a 3-4-5 Sanshoku possible.
Yeah, that would be nice for sure. 3-so gives another Ryamen to Nathaniel, but yeah, it's actually kind of awkward because just is already Autozuke, so already has the Ryamen he needs.
That's an interesting consideration because the 2-5, so it's once cut, but the 4-7-mon, even though it's more live, is a class C Ryanmen that's a little harder to get.
It does. You do have to consider your Shimocha as well. It did look like 5-6-mon is a little bit worse to cut than 4-3-so.
Yeah, definitely.
Just like 2 middle tiles versus like a 4 and a 3.
Well, Aaron has made a recovery, is now Ishan 10 for 4-5-6 Sanshoku Tanyo.
Here we go. Did get those shifts that you were talking about. There's a Khan on the 2-pin, flips the 1-pin Dora. That just helps nobody. But there's going to be the call into Tempai, just 7-mon Tonki.
2 7-mons left in the wall, but I imagine we're going to see a switch.
Yeah, it's not too hard to find something better than that. Dustin's still trying for this one E2, pushing these middle Pinzu tiles, but does still need a little bit of help.
Interesting drop of the 6-0 for Nathaniel.
Here's going to be Tempai, Ricci Tanya's Sanshoku.
Looks like there's 1 5-mon left in the wall. But it doesn't look too terrible to toss against Aaron because the 2-mon's cut in the 7-mon was very early.
What is... Dustin draws
Oh.
another Sozu.
Not Tempai yet.
He goes for the Chun. Are we going to see the Pollen? We are. Nathaniel calling into Ishanten.
Yeah, fighting hard to protect this dealership, but it does feel a little bit precarious when there's 3 calls and a Ricci.
Yeah.
Oh,
4
4
on.
on.
It is like Suji to 7, and there's an early 2. Yeah, it does come out.
Yeah.
Ooh, Tempai! We could
Yeet.
see Ricci discarding 3-so or discarding 8-so. 3-so would be a better looking weight. Goes for the 8-so. Doesn't want to discard the 3-so. Just takes the 3-6-so weight. This is a narrower weight. Just has the 2-6-so as tiles to win on. Didn't want to push the 3-so. Didn't trust it. The weight looked so much better.
I think it's dead in this case.
Yeah.
3-6-0.
Kang.
Dustin
two final
probably saw the
six are held.
Sanzo.
No.
Oh, there's
Oh
the
no!
9-so.
Instead of soloing in the 9-so, it deals in. That's a tragic turn of events there. That was the Menhon Sumo. Oh no.
Yeah, that could have been it. Still not terrible for Dustin, though. Everything is very close at the moment. Dealer starts with Ishanten, looking for the 3-mon for the best possible Tempai.
Wow.
There are
Nice
some
start hand there.
yeah, there's some shifts to Itsu possible that allow you to absorb the door at the same time. But there is also, that Hatsu Anko across the way. So Nathaniel, I don't know. Nathaniel still has a dealership left. It's only East 4. I imagine we'll see Chi of the 8-mon or maybe even the 3-pin. I don't know.
Well, completes another block there for Nathaniel, who's going to cut the Pinzu. Are we... So 6-so... Are we going to... Yeah, just Tsumugi. You're going to cut the 8-so.
And we have 2 Shanten for Aaron here, holding on to that 9-mon over the safe south, maybe thinking about shifts to Sanshoku.
Here's a nice Ramen upgrade for dealer. So now 2 A-class Ramen. If you fill to Kame on both sides, you have Tanyo chance. Well, there's one of them. There's the 6-pin. So now 1-pin, 4-pin, where the 4-pin is Tanyo. Though there is only one 4-pin in the wall.
Yeah, 4-pins are pretty solidly lodged in Aaron's hand. Probably going to cut west-west, yep.
I mean, there's a series of draws where Aaron is baited into cutting the 4-pin. Like if you draw 9-mon here.
Now, I'm scared for Nathaniel, who has incentive to push the 4-pin if he draws
Okay,
the
here's
8-mon or the
Tempai.
8-pin.
We could see a chase with
Oh.
9-mon. Well, 9-mon's door. Are we gonna see 4-pin and the door Tonki? Oh no. This
I
actually might
think-
be 4-pin.
I think so.
No.
Yeah.
So it does steal in there.
Oh,
we're at
no.
2!
Lots of Uramangans here. That's kind of the play I expected from Aaron, though, going for kind of the more expensive hands in general.
Yeah. It was like what, like Ricci Pinfu versus Ricci Door 2?
Yeah. It's tough to say because, I mean, obviously, there's the danger of tossing the 9-mon into the Ricci, but also the weight is just so much better on
Yeah.
the other side. All right, well, East 4, repeat 1. Dealer has an Anko of the Chun, but other than that, the hand is a little bit slow. Still needs to make some shapes. Not terrible, though.
A lot of pairs and Onkos here in Aaron's hand. I wonder what we're gonna see this turn into.
Nathaniel has a lot of overlap in the Manzu. It's not great, but maybe considering a Chitoi here, especially with the Westora, or a Honitsu.
It looks like a reasonable 22 with a... Oh, well, actually, well, it draws the 8-so Onko, so now I can think about Toy as well. He's going to keep that Onko for now. Cutting away from the Hatsu. If you pair up any of like 1, 2, 4, 6, or West, you can just go for Toy here. If you draw like a 3-mon or a 5-mon, then it's kind of tough what you want to do. Maybe you just go 8, 8, 8-so. It's not clear. Well, you get the second pawn.
Even this is tough now that you don't have another pair waiting.
Yeah, you somehow need to draw into two different pairs. Well, I guess you could. The last one can be your Tonki.
Oh, here we go. The chance to shift towards Toy Toy. And it's taken.
Definitely think it makes sense. Oh, well, there's one of the pairs that Nathaniel needs.
Cool.
Looks like there's one more Formon in the wall. One Formon's locked up.
Gee.
Dealer's hand.
Oh,
Dealer
Yishangten
open.
from Suanko.
Oh. I think you probably have to skip the first just Tanyo Toy Toy call. I don't know. Are you happy enough with like Tanyo Toy Toy Tsumo Mangan? I think I might skip the first one at least.
Yeah, I think considering not only that you have to get first, but you have to get first by like 15,000 points
Yeah.
over second, it definitely makes sense.
Gee.
I think this is your chance to be greedy. Well, we have 3 calls into Tonki Tenpai on the west. There is a west loose, but that's I mean, it's not loose. That's just the Tonki for Nathaniel, unless Nathaniel draws the Tumon. If the Tumon comes, if Nathaniel draws the Tumon, would probably push the door because it's not clear the dealer has a Yaku for west.
Yeah, it's been 3 cheese, 2 Ariane. Oh, there's a con. New door is the 9 pin. Doesn't seem to benefit anyone right now. Oh, decisions. Oh, 9 so is dead, yeah.
This is Tenpai for Dustin on 3-mon Kanchan. Are we going to see a Richi? There is a con been made.
It kind of looks not too bad, too. You see a lot
No,
of
it really
lower
doesn't
Monzo.
look too bad. And we're going to see the Richi.
Oh, no. Okay, evades with the 4-mon.
I think might have got saved by the Richi there, because it's pretty tempting to push that into dealer who really looked like Tanyo.
Yeah. For the time being, the 4-mon Nakasuji buys a turn or
Oh,
so.
Tenpai!
And here's this. How many are
I
left?
imagine we
There's
just Richi. Yeah, there we go.
5-mon is dead, 8 pin is dead, but the 5-mon could still come out from the dealer. But the dealer looks like they're folding. And with only 12 draws left, I
Yeah.
think that might be it.
I mean, 5-mon's Nakasuji to Aaron. Is there? You just have to tune the fold with though, so I don't really see how the 5-mon would ever come out.
Okay. But we see a miraculous recovery here with the 4-mon Chi. Not yet. I think that's about it. Can't Chi on the last turn.
All right. Well, that hand got Aaron's heart racing there.
Definitely. 32,000 turns into 1,500. As we move into South 1. 2 Richi sticks, 2 Homba in the middle. Aaron's the dealer and starts with 2 Yakuhai pairs. Kind of looks like Chanta.
Yeah, Chanta or like maybe Honitsu. Starting with 4-mon, which is leaning more towards that Chanta, like you said, rather than Honitsu. Okay, could this be like Honryoto?
Honryoto would be very cool.
One pin only has one left.
Onso is live. South is live. North might get dropped soon.
Home.
Yeah. All right, so there's still a Honryoto chance here. You could even get a Honryoto Toy Toy Honitsu Yaku Yaku. That'd be big.
That would certainly be a hand.
How much do
a crazy
care
hand
about
to
this
play.
2
Okay,
pick
just cuts the
acceptance?
Haku. Not going all in on this Honryoto plan. Seems to just be... Well, I mean, we still have the 1 pin. I guess the 1 pin only has the 1 left, though. Okay, well, fill the 2 pin. There, it's the Chanta all along. One so non.
And the Fu gets bumped up here.
Thinking about not sumoing, but yeah, just take the 2 Han sumo.
Not too bad. Starts with an Anko of the 1-mon and 3 pairs. Wow.
Already quick 2 Shanten. No one else's hand looks as fast as dealer here. Wow, already E Shanten.
Matthew could call for I don't know, tune, but it's a bit clunky.
This is where you draw 7 so, and you're like, what the heck is this tempai? Okay, draws 8 so, that's easy.
Nice. So we're looking for the Takame 9 pin for Ipeiko. 3 left in the wall, and 4 of the 6 pins left in the wall. This is great.
Really strong Ricci here. No one with a hand that can really contest here. Just gonna do their best to. Well, I mean, I guess that's not necessarily true. Nathaniel could potentially fight here. Does actually have an Ishan 10. And is it Chanta Sancho? So never mind. Okay, well, Simon 6 pin.
All right, 1,000 all plus the repeat. So slowly climbing his way back up. Starts with a Chun pair, door acceptance, possible shifts towards a 2-3-4 Sanchoku, though it's not super likely. The other hands looking a little slow too. I mean, actually, off to the right, I'd say Dustin has a pretty good chance at getting an early-ish reach.
Yeah. Oh, well, look, it fills in 6-mon Kanchan followed by 3 so Penshan fill, so 2 really good draws here. Set up the Ishan 10.
Well, speaking of Ishan 10, Aaron takes it. Has upgrade. Oh, sorry, yeah.
I was gonna say, I guess it's not quite Ishan 10 if it doesn't really have a pair. It's not hard to get into Ishan 10.
No, it's very wide. An improved Ishan 10 for Aaron probably will just take the Chun pawn.
There is 2, 3, 4 if you can pick up the right Pinzu.
Okay, I was going to say, that's a little bit of a tough decision there because the 3-pin Dora you'd like to still draw into Tempai.
Yeah. Do we want a third pair, or are we just going to keep the Ryokan shape? It does want the third pair.
Okay, and shifts to the Tanyao.
We do also have Ishan 10 from Toyman and Kamicha here as well.
And takes the instant Ricci on the 2-pin, 7-pin Shabo. Doesn't want to wait around for the weight, upgrade the Dora or the Sanshoku. Just asserts dominance as dealer.
I think
Here's
Saman is
Tempai.
the draw. Are we going to
So
see
if
a
you're
fight?
chasing,
5 so Kanchan with just Ricci non? Not willing to do it. There's 7-mon Kabe, so you can cut potentially 7, 8, 9-mon, and maybe you get back somewhere.
Yeah. 9-mon just passed.
Nathaniel also trying to figure out what to do here. Actually, now it has Monzu, like 3-mon as safety, but yeah, it doesn't want to just full fold here. Nathaniel has found themselves in 4th place, and they do need to try to get first this game, so if there's a hand that has a chance to win, and this one has, like, you know, Ricci, Pinfu, well, not Pinfu, but Ricci, Dora.
Yeah, and the Dora just passed too. Dustin filled the Kanchan next to it, still slowly washing towards a Tanyao, is now Ishan 10.
Boom.
And the 6-mon passes.
Did manage to find into it that 5-pin Tempai, cutting all those Monzu.
So 1 5-pin left in the wall. Still 2 tiles left for the Shabo. There's one of them.
And so Skambutsu to the Ricci does come out. And last draw for Nathaniel. Doesn't get Tempai.
All right, 3 people, no 10. We're gonna have another repeat for Aaron. Goes up another 3,000, is now at 30,300.
All right, another very reasonable starting hand here as well.
Already 6
3
blocks,
Ronin?
and yeah, it's great.
Just cutting that 5 from that 2, 3, 5, 7, 8 shape, preferring to hold the west. It's a bit of a safer tile.
Oh,
Hand on the
well,
right looking
Dustin
very
is
fast.
already. Yeah, Ishanten as is. Looking for
Call
2-5, so Hatsu or 6-9 pin.
Could potentially call a Hatsu if is happy with just Hatsu door 1, or potentially skip and greed for a Ricci.
Yeah, it'll probably depend on how worried you are about Aaron having discarded 5 pin and now 6 mon.
Shunten for Nathaniel as well. Oh, and fills it. So perfect. I imagine we're just going to see a slam here. No, we're not. We're going to see a greed play. Tolan adding Tanyao.
Really gunning for that first place.
Yeah, saying that turn 4, I potentially have time. I don't know if this is necessary because it's not even confirmed Tanyao. It's only if you get the 4-pin.
Yeah, that's what makes me doubt it a tiny bit, but I understand the reasoning here. Oh, nice Hatsu draw. Justin can take the Ryanman or the Entotsu.
No, it's all. Oh, it's not in Totsu. I was gonna say it's always in Totsu because it waits on Sanzo. I was wrong. And Ipatsu.
Yeah, that 8-pin Ipatsu draw tempted Nathaniel to dropping that Tuso and paid out a Mangan.
Justin forsaking the Sanzo working out for him. And now, wow,
And
this
now
is neck and neck. 40,500, 40,700. And
it's not
nice starting
entirely...
hand for Dustin. Look at this. Has two door. One of the 7 so's is loose, but does need a pair, so could potentially go 8-9 so here. Looks like we froze a little bit. Oh no, we're just thinking. Sorry, we're thinking from Aaron whether or not to go for Kokoshi.
Aaron's hand seems like one of those hands you see in a Horiuchi video where he's like, I started with 11 terminals and got Tanyao.
This is a monster hand from Nathaniel as well. It could potentially come back with a 6-7-8 Sanshoku. Yeah, here it is, Ricci. Now, how greedy are we? Do we ever like skip 9 so? It is a bit of a... You do have a dealership left? It's interesting.
It's hard to turn down a potential Mangan.
Because like, if especially 9 so Roln, you're just like Ricci Pin Fudora, 39. Ooh, it's tough. I don't know. I could see it being correct to maybe greed when you're in a position where you absolutely have to get first place.
Sure. I think if you didn't have a dealership left, you would 100% pass.
Right. The dealership's what makes it fuzzy. Like how much are you just want to bank on having a successful dealership? Because all it takes is one Ura flip, and then you have a Mangan anyways.
Mm-hmm.
There is a loose 6-0 in Aaron's hand, and if Aaron gets Tempai, would be tempted to just push the 6-0. Ideally, would like to draw around the 6-0, and then not have to make that decision.
Part of the problem, though, is Aaron's hand is incredibly cheap.
Yeah.
So... Oh,
okay, Natsuo takes the Roln. It's at least a direct hit on, like, not Aaron. No Ura.
No Ura, still.
Alright, last dealership for Nathaniel. Needs to make this one count. Alright, has a very playable high pie.
Yeah, Itsu, Dora Acceptance, the Hatsu if you want to speed things up. 2-3-4 Sanshoku.
Definitely eyeing the 2-3-4 Sanshoku for sure.
Definitely a favorite
Forso to
Yaku
accept
Nathaniel.
Dora as well.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Ishanten.
Yeah. Still has that Forso for the upgrades. Although as dealer, you definitely just take Richinomi, I have to imagine.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there it is. Very early Ricci. 1-pin, 4-pin.
6 left in the wall. It's not a ton to go off of here.
Aaron's hand doesn't really have a lot of value, so there's not a huge incentive to try to fight on this exact hand.
Dustin is Ishanten, though. 2-5, so 7, so would get Tempai. Shoves the 1-mon.
I imagine Dustin would take the Ricci if... Oh, wow, this one's easy slam. This one's even the Railman weight. So deciding between 3-mon, 6-mon.
Looking to snag the Dora for the best possible hand.
Okay. Daniel stays alive here, gets the Tsumo. This is on the Ura,
Daniel
but...
not getting... Yeah, it doesn't get any of that Ura luck that the others have been having.
Well, this is probably another hand you're just looking to try to call and just win something quick here if you can get the Hatsu. With like 6-pin pair, 6-mon. Well, I guess 6-mon has the Ryumen connected to it. Oh, Hatsu Anko.
Do we? Okay, 9-pin. I was wondering whether Nathaniel would consider the far away Honitsu, but that Manzu shape makes it hard to go for, especially since 5-mon is the Dora.
Yeah. If you potentially draw into a second Yakuhai, it's certainly worth thinking about. Though I think until that happens, maybe just go for the speed option. There is an Ishan 10 on the left already. Although it's a bit ugly, like once cut 9-pin Champon and a Penshan. It does have a door though.
Yeah.
And a lot of Manzu improvements.
Okay, this helps a lot. You have the Sanshoku now.
I imagine it would certainly make any of the cheese and just go for the 2,000 point hand that puts you in first place and all last.
Yeah, Aaron has to dig a little deep here and probably stay closed and aim for the Chanta.
Yep. Yeah, skipping the 9-pin for sure, just so you open this hand, it's so cheap. Two-pin does help for the Chanta plan, gives you extra acceptance on the 3-pin. Yeah, there's the Sanshoku.
Yeah, so 7-pin, twice left in the wall. Looks like Nathaniel can use it. But the
Chanta
others...
Ishan-ten, or sorry, Chanta Tenpai, Ricci. There's only two 9-pin left, but actually one left in the wall. One's held. What does...
probably... This is really tough, though. Do you pass the 6-pin?
Yeah,
yeah,
for just Ricci Nomi. But then... Oh, no, because I think with the win condition, because remember, you don't just need first, you need like a large first. So I think you actually do need Chanta here.
It's just so tough to let the 6-pin go by knowing there's only two 9-pins left, but...
Yeah, I think we're desperate enough. If it was only just get first, I would take the win, I think. But given that it's like first plus from... on Matthew, it was needed like a 15,500 point gap.
Yeah. Something like that, like 14-7 or 15-7, I forget which. Alright, so we're going to have Ishan 10 call for Nathaniel. It does have that 6-pin, but like we're discussing, there's a chance that even if Nathaniel ends up dropping it, that it gets passed.
Yeah, because especially at this point, like it's late in the round, if you pass, even if you don't win, at least there's like another Renshan, hopefully on Nathaniel's dealership. You can hope that he's Tenpai, and then you have 2 rounds still left instead of just 1.
Yeah.
Chi from Dustin, who calls into Tenpai.
It's going to give Nathaniel one more chance to get Tenpai here. Oh, clutch. Gets a 6-pin.
Maintains the dealership. That's huge. I heard that was a pretty Tenpai. Too bad there was no time.
Yeah, 7-mon would have been nice. Toi San Anko Hatsu.
I didn't have that earlier. Alright, so we go again. 9-so the Dora here. Nathaniel with Pinzu shape, Ryankan that has Ipeko chance on 5-pin. Pretty extended Sozu shape for Matthew.
Dustin has a pretty fast hand here. Already 2 Shan 10. It could ski around the 5 mon and the 7 pin.
Ideally getting that E2, but it had door 2 even, so just has value regardless. Really strong hand. There's a nice 4 so fill. We're going to see that Dora come out. Doesn't necessarily need the value, just wants to win a hand. And this keeps the 1-3 so Kanchan. Well, there's going to be Tempai found, and this is just going to be Richi Pinfu Dora 1.
Yeah, it doesn't look like there's much else you could do with that hand.
No, it's outside of just like drawing more Dora. There's not really anything to add here. Unless we're looking at what, like 6, 7, 8, where you don't have any of the 6, 7, 8 Monzu.
Yeah, no way. Oh no.
They well 6 mon 8 mon. Okay.
And Dustin shoved the 7 mon out too. I mean, Dustin sees 3 of the Dora.
Mm-hmm. Has a strong hand. Would be really important for Dustin to try to win this hand. Oh, okay, really huge draw for Nathaniel, who can't let this dealership go. Although, does need to find a way to get this 5 so into hand. Could potentially get into trouble there. The 5 so in the 8
Even
so
trouble
like,
now.
it's a bit tough. Yeah, this is tough. Yeah, 5 so comes out. Just had to fight. Like, you just have to go for the. Oh well.
And a pass?
Not taking it.
Ah,
So what
saved.
are we? I guess wants sumo because it's a more of a point difference on your rival.
Yeah, that's true. Hmm.
Because like direct hit, I guess, is just like Richi Pinfu Dora.
Yeah.
Whereas like
I mean,
sumo's potentially a lot more because you get points from them as well. It's tough to say.
the thing is, it could be big if you hit that Ura and you get a 16,000 point swing.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, sorry. I'm thinking of direct hitting the wrong person.
I mean, like even if if you get like a Mongun sumo, you get like a 10,000 point swing, which would be pretty
it's
huge.
Quite good.
It does give Nathaniel still hope here, who can keep trying to fight with this hand here.
Would have to make an advancement now in the next turn. Well, there's one.
Has the Ishan 10. Can it get there? Needs to maintain Tempai. Oh, it doesn't get the draw.
Misses it. And you
No
did the
10.
258 pin or the 1-4 so.
Okay, all last. Here we go. So this is really just mostly between Dustin and Matthew here. It's a bit awkward. Like, Matthew kind of has to just try to win this hand. Like, the lead is so small over Dustin.
So there's an interesting thing that happens. I think if Dustin calls Ricci and then Aaron sumos a Baimon, everyone is below 30k.
Wow, yeah, there you go. That's the win condition.
Doesn't look like Dustin is going to want to call Ricci with this hand, though. Already Ishan 10 for Chitoy.
It's potential that just a Hanuman sumo is enough of a point gap, even though Dustin doesn't go below 30,000.
Right. So let's say Johanna
There's
sumo,
like,
you go up. Oh, because there's the 2,900 in the middle too.
yeah,
All right. Let me do math now. 30.
because that'd be like, it might be just short. It might be not quite enough actually.
I'd put you at 46.2. Dustin would go down to 31.4. Is that enough? 46. To do math. 7,
Dustin
12.
already calling here. Oh, and draws the 8 so. This is going to be Ishan 10 for Dustin, who has the South Yakuhai. Just needs to win this hand.
Actually, I
toward
think
the 2 randomly.
Hane would be enough. Hane would give a 16.8 gap between second
Fortunately,
place
his
and
hand.
first place.
Okay, here's going to be the Tempai found. Has to Ricci here. So 7 mon Dora Kanchan, but that only has 2 left.
And so you see West from Aaron looking towards Sanshoku or Dora acceptance for that Hane chance.
The door picked up for Nathaniel, who kind of would want to use that anyways, just to add enough value to the hand.
Yeah, Nathaniel's in a very tough spot now.
Oh, potential trouble for Dustin. If 6-mon, 9-mon's pulled in, we could see a deal in. Here's a 7-so fill for Nathaniel. Does have the Ipeko. Really just needs to draw around that Dora. Okay, 8-mon locking the door pair for Dustin, so not going to be in trouble with that 7-mon. Four-pin pair, so Nathaniel actually had Tempai, but it wasn't big enough. So forcing the Dora. Goes 4-pin, 4-pin, trying to go for Door Tonki.
Nathaniel needs a Baimon.
Oh, here's Tempai.
Yeet.
Could potentially Dora Tonki. Okay, so this is Richi, Tanyo, Ipeko, Dora. But the door's dead, because it's Onkoed in Dustin's hand, who's waiting on 7-pin 4-mon.
Yeah, so if Nathaniel gets a Baimon off of either first or second right now, then it is enough to take first.
This is
However, if it's anything less, you come in second, I think.
This is kind of a free roll for Dustin, because he's the only one who can actually win here. The 7-mon just a dead weight. So there's just the 1 7-pin left.
Wow.
Dustin takes the championship there. Gets the final 7-pin draw. And gets the win there. Locking in the first place with a Mongon for good measure.
I'd like to take this moment to say 7-pin is the new 3-so, as Richinomi says. And now Dustin can believe it too. Well done.
Yeah, congratulations. Winning that very close championship battle. Came down to the final hand. Yeah, it was back and forth the whole way. Lead kept changing. Dustin at one point was in a pretty deep fourth, but then battled right back up into a first place, winning the final 2 games 1-1 for the nice recovery up into the championship first place.
I believe that puts Nathaniel at negative 25.1 overall. Matthew is going to go up to 11.9. Aaron is going to go to negative 25, and then Dustin with plus 32.5 is going to go up to plus 39.2 or something like that.
38.2. Yeah, we got the standings on screen here. So it actually, Aaron did end up passing Nathaniel in the end there by just 100 points. But yeah, really it was all about the first place there, which Dustin was able to secure and get that trophy. Yeah, had a bit of a tough start there, losing that second match with getting the huge negative fourth, but then closing out with 1-1, and that was enough to do it. Matthew was never able to get a first there, was hanging on with just like all second places. I went like second, and a third, and then was close there, had a chance in the final one, but came up just short of a second.
Yeah, that's a really tough situation there with the points so close. Plus, you're the dealer and you're going to take the Kaburi.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I think you really had no choice but just take the Ricci on the first tempo you saw. You just had to try to win the hand. There was no other real choice for it. Nathaniel, if Nathaniel was closer, had like a really strong had a Tempai which would have won because it had like Ricci, Pinfu, Ipeko. I think there was Tanya. Unfortunately, it just wasn't enough. I guess the 7-mon would have dealt in at that point, but yeah, you need
Hane Sumo
Hanemon.
or Hane Direct.
Right. So you because what was the Tempai you had? Was it like Menton Pinipeko? Is that what it was? Okay, yeah. So, but yeah, and then you would have needed like Sumo Ura, and that would have done it for you. Is that right? Oh, okay. All right. Wow. Well, that was very exciting.
Yeah, lots of large hands that game, and skirting around danger. But in the end, it was really only between 2 players. Okay, who do we have here? Dustin has joined us, the champion himself. How did that game go for you, Dustin? What did you think?
After losing that, Honitsu was a little bit in despair, especially after Matthew got like a decent lead, but I was like, it wasn't like that good. I wasn't like, giving up, especially after like coming back from like being last after the second Anchan. It's just like,
Right.
I guess normally I was like, you might have to like do some like score calculations, but with the scores as being as tight as they were, I was just like, I just have to win.
So I have a question. You had at one point had a hand where I think you had Yakuhai Onko, if I remember, and you had a choice between taking like a 3-so 6-9 pin in Totsu weight or cutting the 3-so for the 2-5-so weight. I thought for sure you'd wait on the Sanzo, but you cut the 3-so, then Ipatsu immediately won. Like what were you thinking between those two choices?
That really depends. See, where do you remember which hand it was specifically?
I think I believe it was in the south round. Was it?
Oh, the south round. Yeah, that would have been. Yeah, see, yeah, that was after my Honitsu hand. It's like,
Yes.
yeah. So that was just me correcting, because
Okay,
sometimes
right.
sometimes Sanzo's good to keep, but sometimes you just have to set you just have to set Sanzo free. And with that one, I remember specifically like that last 9 pin was just gone. Plus the
Right.
Intotsu weight is around like the 6 pin. It's very usable. I think that was around the Dora, so that's just like it's just not really winnable.
Yeah, it was a good read. I mean, you immediately got the Ipatsu, and that was kind of the game-changing hand because that's what set you up into being such a good position there.
Yeah, it's even without the Ipatsu, it's still pretty good with 340.
Right. And then I was wondering if you were gonna get into a little bit of trouble in that last hand. You had the Dora 7-mon, you had like 7-7-8, and I was wondering if like there was ever a world where you like try to use the 7-8 Ryamen just because the value didn't matter too much, but you just ended up locking the Dora pair and it ended up working out for you there.
Yeah, I was definitely considering that because Ryamen's good, but then 8-mon was just safe, and like the Dora was Sotogawa to the Rishi.
Yeah,
I think you'd say it's like, but
I mean,
I was just playing it safe.
Yeah, I
took my 6
looked,
pin entry.
I don't know if you looked. The 7-mon was the deal until, and
For both of them.
Yeah, they were both waiting on 7-mon. So we were saying it's kind of a free roll for you because like you were the only one who actually had a weight left. You had like a single 7 pin, and then that was all you needed.
Yeah, but that was like maybe I really should have took Ryamen there. It's like I see 2 6 pins, but it still worked out. And as I got to catch Eric saying, yeah, 7 pin is Sanzo of New York City. I do believe in it. I have seen it on several occasions before this. If it wasn't like that Shabo, I probably would have actually taken the Ryamen. I probably should have taken the Ryamen anyway, but I do know 7 pin is a good tile. Not as good as Sanzo though.
Yeah, did you have, what was it, like 7-7-8 pin there at the final one?
It was 6-7-7, and then 8 comes out like twice.
Okay.
It's like, oh no, this is so over. But at least I actually had like a winning tile somewhere.
Yeah, both weights ended up winning there. All right. Yeah, well, congratulations on securing the championship here. That was a really exciting championship to watch. I imagine it was pretty exciting to play as well.
Thanks. Yeah, it's like on one hand, I also like I probably should do like a Honitsu Chinitsu trader. Like I had that with that Honitsu, I kind of fumbled. It was like, oh, like, I did see the Sananko, but like having half of the winning tiles is pretty bad. But it made for good content for sure.
Yeah,
just keeping things that close.
Yeah, we were both talking about the chance to take the 6-9 so 7 so weight and how it backfired a little bit, but in the end you made a very good recovery and now you have another great tournament to put on your trophy list.
Yeah, I guess if that counts as a tournament, it's like the first. Well, I want like some of those Richinomi like monthly ones. Where those are like, oh, this feels like pretty sizable, even if there is only like bragging rights.
This one you get the fancy color.
Oh, yeah.
Now you get to show off every time you're talking in the like scheduling chats or whatever. You get the unique color.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna hop in. First of all, huge congratulations, Dustin. Well played series, and well deserved win. I have to ask you now that you've become the ARML champion, and I will say, definitely this was a year in the making, right? It took 4 seasons to get into this game in the first place. Although I think you won fairly early on, and then 4 games after that against some very strong players, you came out on top. But DC Club has been absolutely repping all the top spots at the tournaments. One of your clubmates won the WRL finals to go to the World Reach Championship in Tokyo this year. And now you, a fellow DC area player, has won American Reaching Mahjong League. What is going on in DC that you guys are so strong? It can't just be the power of Sanzo.
It can't just be. But what if it was?
What if it was?
What if it was? The person who got me to play this game taught me about Mahjong, taught me about Sanzo. She moved there. DC was a small club, barely having a single table at some guy's apartment. So maybe it is all about the power of Sanzo.
Dustin, if I want to become like you, if I want to learn about the power of Sanzo, where is the next best opportunity for me to learn from the master, from the ARML champion himself?
Well, it's not going to be just about Sanzo. In fact, it might not even be on the slide, but as we've done last year for the DC tournament, we had some presentations about improving in Mahjong. I still need to work on mine. The date is yet to be determined, but it is probably the week before the DC Open, so somewhere around 4/19, 4/20.
Are you going to host that? Are you going to host that online, or is it going to be in person?
It'll be online. Yeah, I'll have to like record it for posterity for the YouTube channel.
Excellent. So around that weekend, we'll look forward to Dustin spilling the secrets of how to become an ARML champion. And then I guess the weekend after that will be the DC Open, where players will have the opportunity to face against all the strong players in Washington, D.C. It's gonna be a blast.
Yeah, in fact, you should sign up. Hell, I'll even at this point I'll give the live presentation for anyone who misses it. On like Friday or something.
There you go, April 26th. Be there. All right. Any other thoughts?
I can't believe I don't hit any Patsu and Sanzo. I mean, I had to. It was like Goody shot in 2 Dora, but I just had to. At least it was like no Ura.
Deal in for flow.
Yeah, I went last just so I could become first. That's the actual DC secret. That's how Max went from 39th out of 40 to being first at WRL.
I guess that's the secret. I went last in this tournament to go first somewhere else.
Yeah, it could be WRC.
Very good.
Very well.
Well, once again, I want to congratulate Justin for becoming the 2024 American Reaching Mahjong League champion. And shout out to all the people who helped make this broadcast possible. Korak, of course, earlier, as well as Lucas. You've been here the whole day. Always fantastic to hear your voice. I heard quite a lot of it over the course of the day, but I'm going to rewatch the series for sure and get the full scope of how things went today. Eric, thanks as well for hopping in and joining that final game. It was an intense one, a complicated one, and I always trust you to navigate those difficult situations. So fantastic to everybody. And thanks everybody for tuning in for this championship match. We'll have another one coming up in less than a year, hopefully. And it will be pretty juicy as we've got a new playoff system with not only the seasonal winners of A1, but also the top 4 point earners as well, battling it out to make it to the final table. So it's going to be even more exciting if that if that's possible. You will not want to miss it. And so absolutely stay tuned to the American Richie Mahjong League for the rest of the year. The spring season has begun, and that means that we will be kicking off things with our early start of the season show on Wednesday. Our first official broadcast of the season. We'll recap everything that happened last season, all the fun anecdotes, all of the highlights, all the fancy hands, Yakuman, Sanbaimon hands, and we'll preview the division winners and the new divisions, and of course look for some juicy matchups to look forward to in the upcoming season. You'll want to be sure to tune into that Wednesday evening. That being said, thanks again, everybody, for tuning in. It was an absolute blast, and we'll see you in the next broadcast.